want to start tearing up the ground rules of our democracy and writing new ones, of course, on a purely partisan basis.
The coronavirus Delta variant hitting parts of the country where fewer people are vaccinated, and it's hitting them hard.
Florida has surpassed its previous high in COVID-19 cases. Kevin Cho Tipton is a critical care nurse practitioner who works at a number of hospitals in the Miami area.
We had less than 90 just last month. We now have over 600.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says children make up some 14% of the current cases, and that includes those who cannot yet be vaccinated. Dr. Emily Landon at University of Chicago Medicine says children and families have been more active this summer, leading to increased exposure.
More kids are getting COVID because they're out and about more. They may not be wearing masks. They may not be as protected.
Hospitals are overcrowded. One heart attack patient bumped by 6 hospitals in New Orleans before finally finding an emergency room. I'm Tim McGuire.
The Taliban has seized 3 more provincial capitals in Afghanistan, along with a local army headquarters. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Excuse me, why don't you have life insurance yet?
I've got diabetes, and I know the price will be through the roof for the pre-existing condition.
Well, actually, SelectQuote makes it easy to get very affordable life insurance, even if you have a health issue.
I'm listening.
You'll get quotes from some of the country's most trusted carriers. Even with your diabetes, you can get around $250,000 in insurance for as little as $1 a day.
That would be amazing. What's it called again?
SelectQuote. Just call or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote. Get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call 1-800-694-1010 or go to selectquote.com today. That's 1-800-694-1010 or selectquote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Monthly premiums vary based on health company and other factors. Not available in all states.
It's been a deadly raid by government security forces on an apartment building in Myanmar's biggest city.
According to a leaked copy of a police radio call, the security forces raided the building in downtown Yangon on a tip-off from an informer. The officers said that 5 of those inside had jumped off the rear of the building. They reported that 3 of them had died at the scene and that the 2 others were unlikely to survive. Residents said they heard a shot fired during the raid and believe that one of the activists was hit. The military junta later said in a statement that only 2 had died in the fall and that the police had recovered protest material and explosives from the room.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. Lawyers acting on behalf of the U.S. government have challenged a British judge's decision to block the extradition of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to face espionage charges in the United States. News and analysis at townhall.com. A nationwide rail strike brings commuter and long-distance train service to a halt all across Germany. Correspondent Zaria Shackley reports.
Train operator Deutsche Bahn said that as a result of the 2-day strike, only about a quarter of its long-distance trains would run on Wednesday and Thursday. The company urged passengers to refrain from unnecessary travel and said it would lift coronavirus-related restrictions to allow every seat to be booked. 11 of Germany's 16 states are on summer vacation, and travelers are heavily relying on trains to get around. I'm Zaria Shackley.
On Wall Street this morning, ahead of the opening bell, stock futures have so far been mixed right now. Dow futures 61 points higher. NASDAQ futures up 50. S&P futures currently 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
We made it.
Got a nice Wednesday ring to it.
Yeah. And I would like to start it as a special day in my world. My wife and I are celebrating 20 years of marriage. Officially today.
22? Oh.
Yeah. 20 years ago today.
Your marriage is almost old enough to drink.
Yeah.
And almost old enough to smoke.
Yeah. Huh. Well, no, old enough to smoke.
Nope. 21.
Oh, was it 21
yep.
now?
I know. I was shocked too. Now, granted, I was on this side of it when they made that law, official. But
when did they do that?
A few years ago.
Oh,
like
okay.
2 or 3 years ago.
Probably a good idea.
I mean, I'm sure that people who were just about to turn 18 were just like, wait, no.
Yeah, like those people.
Reaching out for that pack of
We're
smoke.
waiting at 18 to smoke.
Right.
Here's the day. Let's go to the store.
Right. Old enough to die for this country, not old enough to light up a pack of cools.
Yeah, well, yes, my wife and I are celebrating 20 years today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, August 11th, 2001, we got married.
I was just starting my senior year.
9/11 was 1 month later.
I know.
To the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
So, never forget Mike and Kim's anniversary.
It is one of those.
Jeez, bad timing, Mike.
It's one of those things, and yeah.
Does this really feel like time to celebrate?
And here's the thing: my wife, kids didn't go back to school yet because that was how because the next week my wife we got married on a Saturday and she started training that Monday back at school. So
wow! So you guys didn't even get like a honeymoon.
We did 1 year later. We went and did our cruise and all that stuff. As a honeymoon.
Nice.
So we did one. It was a delayed honeymoon, but yes, we did. Yeah, it's been 20 years. It's gone by fast, but that's 20 years of my life.
Here's a fun little fact for you. You know what the honeymoon actually is supposed to be like traditionally? So traditionally, her dad is supposed to supply you with mead for an entire month.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's what honeymoon actually is that the father of the bride provides honey beer or honey wine mead to the to the groom for a moon for a month.
Well, I got to shoot him a Facebook message.
I'm saying he owes you some mead.
I got a month of mead coming my way.
Mead party at Mike's house.
What's with a 20-year
Yeah, what's
the
interest rate?
Yeah, what's the VIC on that?
I'm not sure. I mean, because first you got to figure out what a month worth of mead would be. What's your personal mead consumption? I think that's what we need to establish first.
Yeah, that might be the first thing as a baseline. Well, let's just say a mead a day.
All right. So we got to go 30 30 meads.
Yes.
One would think a mead is generally consumed by the bowl, so 30 bowls of mead.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 years, 2.5%. Carry the 2.
7.
I'd say he owes you like a keg of mead.
There you go, keg. Well, we got to find that.
Yeah. First, we got to find somebody who kegs mead.
Just start calling liquor stores. Hey, do you have mead by the keg?
Dude, that would be a fun adventure. Just call all the liquor stores, all the places that sell alcohol, and be like, do you just in general, do you sell mead?
Mead by the keg.
Can you even get that now?
Keep it flowing.
Oh my God. I'm curious if you can get mead or if you just have to make it.
I'm sure there's some hipsters out there brewing their own mead.
I make my own, yeah.
Yeah, I make my own mead.
I make bathtub mead.
Probably, but yes, celebrating 20 years today. It's that's when we went to the Grand Canyon back in June. That was our official gift to each other. I mean, we're going to go out to dinner.
No, the gift was that she brought you back. That was the gift.
That's right. She pulled me out of the hole.
She let you come back.
Well, originally our plan moons ago was on our 20th we're going to do an Alaskan cruise and all that, but then COVID put a damper on that. So we went to the Grand Canyon, and when the world is more amenable to it, we'll go do our Alaskan cruise thing. So.
That would be interesting.
Like right now, it's still kind of guinea pigs. Like they're going, but they're like, and I'm like, no. I'm not going to be that guy.
Look,
that's how you end up eating onion sandwiches.
But I do not want to end up on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Right now, maybe ever. Like that
because
ship
of
might
COVID,
have sailed.
or
Not necessarily, just because. Well, at first it wasn't necessarily like a big thing. Like I always wanted to go on a cruise ship. Really, like it wasn't like okay, maybe.
Have you ever been on one?
No.
And you see, that's why. The food situation alone is worth a week on a cruise.
Oh, the food, sir. The food alone is worth the trip.
Not like that. I'm talking hedonistic gluttony. I'm not talking, ooh, fancy. No, I'm like, I literally walk by these soft serve ice cream thing just to get cones like 24/7 intravenously fed to me.
I just feel like what's going to end up happening is I'm going to book the wrong cruise and get like, accidentally get like elderly on like the high seas or something like that, where it's just like all the Ensure I could drink.
No, I'll take some of the Yeller. That's what I'm doing.
Tomato biscuit by the shuffleboard. Dude, okay, now let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a point in your life where you like saw something and realized I might be old? Like, is there just been a moment in your life where it washed over you? You're like, I might actually be old.
Yeah, but it was when I was dealing with teenagers.
Okay.
And I asked them about a movie, and a movie that everyone should know about, Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
And they literally gave me the look of like, what are you talking about, old man?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I felt old. Yeah.
They gave you the okay boomer.
Yeah.
I had one of those moments literally like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was watching, I watched a lot of YouTube, and I watched one series on YouTube called Good Mythical Morning.
Mm-hmm.
One of the games they play on here is a Guess the Decade game, essentially, but it's played on it's played via shuffleboard.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I'm watching them play shuffleboard. I'm like, I kind of think I want to play shuffleboard.
Oh, so now
I'm watching the game, and I'm like, this looks kind of fun.
Because shuffleboard's associated with the elderly as a game.
Instantly. I'm like, oh my God, I'm old. Yeah, that just washed over me. I was like, no. But yeah, I kind of want to play a game of shuffleboard now, just to get it out of my system.
I've never played shuffleboard.
Nor have I.
Yeah.
But it looks rather fun. I mean, it's definitely a game of, angles and like it's basically pool, but on a big, shiny, slick, surface.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's entertaining. I'd do it. I don't know if I'd desire.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna seek it out or anything. It's just one of those moments where it's like, yeah, I kind of want to go frolic in a field. Yeah, I kind of want to play a game of shuffleboard,
Yeah. I don't, is it like curling? I don't really understand how they play.
Essentially, from what I've gathered,
or hopscotch.
From what I've gathered, it's
curling.
It's kind of like curling, where there's point values in the triangle, and you're basically trying to angle yourself each round to get the most points, but you're also
knocking your
other
opponents.
people. Yeah.
So, it's like
elements of curling, elements of like darts.
Yeah, or what's that? Croquet.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Curling is one of those like years ago. I mean, years and years when it was like first kind of getting traction in the Winter Olympics. I'm like, I think I would get down on some curling.
Yeah.
Especially when you find out that traditionally in the game of curling, a round of beer is shared at the end of or the losers buy the winners a round of beer.
Except it's Canadian, so they all buy each other beer because they're like, no, that's okay.
That's okay. I'm sorry. Here's your Molson's.
I should give you the rundown.
Oh, yeah.
The official rundown. Hey, we're going to talk some Roswell Invaders baseball this hour.
Inside baseball?
Inside baseball.
Nice.
Yes, inside baseball, because we're inside. Manager and player Lance Meyer is going to join us. They're in the playoffs.
Ooh.
They're in the semis, and then they win there, and then they're playing for a championship.
Nice.
So we'll talk with Lance here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Brian Luck join us. Last night was a school board meeting. It was quite an affair, a contested. A lot of people showed up there talking about the mask resolutions and all that, and there was large amounts of people sharing their views on that. So we'll talk about last night's meeting, and of course, just the beginning of the school year and everything here with Brian Luck. So
I just had about last night. About last night.
Well, I watched some of it, and there was a lot of. I mean, they were. People were getting heated in their discussions and things, and it was a couple moments there where they had to gabble down some people and tell them to be quiet. Or
they beat him with a gavel? Wow.
Yes.
That seems a bit excessive. You could just ask him to leave.
just a gamble.
Oh, okay. That makes much more sense.
Actually, gavels are not the most effective way to do that. You know, they're not that strong. They're basically no much stronger than what we used for crab breaking shells on a crab meat.
It cracks a shell. I'm saying it would get the job done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up if I catch a couple gavels to the head. Smack. Okay, fine.
But fortunately, that wasn't needed. But yeah, it was a little heated last night. So we'll talk with Brian Luck in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Elliot Rodriguez with CMG Financial will join us. He comes by monthly to discuss homes. He's the man he's not the one that finds you the home. He's the man who finds you the money to get the home that you want. And so
keeps it in a briefcase in the back of his office.
That's right. It's very much.
He has to figure out if you're worthy first, and then he's going to slide it across the desk to you.
It's just like Deal or No Deal. Remember, was it Deal or No? What was that show that Howie Mandel with all the briefcases?
Deal or No Deal. That was Deal or No Deal.
Was that Deal or No Deal? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He carries around briefcases like that.
Yeah. Just says number 42 on the side. You never know what you're going to get. Either you open it and it just like shines in your face like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Just like
no
that.
idea what's inside.
And everyone goes, and then they close it again.
This looks in order.
All right, it is 7:17. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure should be forming over eastern New Mexico today, and we could get some afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. We're looking at mid-90s for the afternoon high. Maybe some showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight and down to 70. For tomorrow, we'll start off fair, partly sunny, our high in the low to mid-90s, and more afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64% with winds out of the south at 16 miles per hour. We do have that 30% chance of showers for this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy today with a high of 94. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain bumps up to 40% for tonight, mainly before midnight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 71. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy, high of 91, south winds at around 5 miles per hour. They're saying less than 1/10 of an inch tomorrow, except for when thunderstorms roll through. 40% chance of rain for 49 as well, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 69. And then Friday, chance of rains at 60%, mainly for the afternoon, mostly cloudy otherwise with a high of 85, southeast winds 5 to 10. 50% chance of rain Friday night as well, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 68. And then for your weekend, a 50% chance of showers on Saturday, partly cloudy and 83. A 40% chance of showers on Sunday, partly cloudy and 86. And even Monday, we're looking Monday and Tuesday, there's slight rain chances of 30% on Monday, highs around 89, 20% on Tuesday with highs around 90. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then Lance Myers, Roswell Invaders, talking a little baseball and playoffs with us on the other side. Don't go away.
Bob Reed Pest Control is committed to providing the most modern pest control management solutions for homes and businesses. Bob Reed can handle every aspect of pest control, from general insects to trees, shrubs, yard treatments, and commercial weed control. They're the only authorized Centricon termite elimination system operator in southeastern New Mexico. No job is too big or too small. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. Southeastern New Mexico's pest management professionals, 623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back outside.
Now, Richland is having one hail of a sale. The hailstorm hit the entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. And those little blemishes mean huge savings. Jeeps, Chryslers, Ram pickups, Silverados, Buicks, Blazers, and all pre-owned inventory marked down to move. Don't let a few dents keep you from the vehicle you've been looking for. One hail of a sale on now at Richland Chevy Buick GMC on West 2nd. ride for the brand.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
There's never a bad time to break out a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at home, the office, in the club, wherever. Parties happen with La Poblanita Party Tostadas, the perfect crunch, seasoned just right and ready to get the party started. It's the dippable chip that bites back, the chips that make bland salsas better. Grab a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery store across all of southeastern New Mexico and take the party up a notch with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. They're all that and a bag of chips.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2021.
Prescott in the gun. They blitz.
Only heard here.
Deep ball by Prescott. Man all alone at the goal line. CeeDee Lamb.
All season.
43 yards, a touchdown, and a touchdown dance. Friday night, it's your Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. Live from State Farm Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 7, kickoff at 8 on 92.9 The Brand. Brought to you in part by Tate Branch Carlsbad.
Wreck-em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football. The Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have Lance Myers and also Easton Barnes here with the Roswell Invaders this morning. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
I'm glad you guys can come in and spend some time with us. You guys, I know, don't have a lot of games at 7 o'clock in the morning, so we do appreciate you getting up for that here. And I know life as a ball player is you take your sleep whenever you can get it. And I know when you're not on the road or getting ready to go to games and stuff. I think military people and athletes are amazingly good at just sleeping anywhere. Is that a pretty fair statement? Like a chair, or like you can even sleep standing up if you figure it out right. It's like I'll just lean in the locker a little bit. I get a couple now.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, no, that's one of those things. It's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is about when most guys go to bed.
Yeah,
and, you sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. And that's the what? Because you play a lot of your games at night, and say 10, 11 o'clock the game's wrapping up, depending on what time it started. And I don't care who you are or what you do. If you've been playing a ball game for 3 hours, you're not going to be over with that and be like, all right, Betty Bow time. You got to unwind. You got to, it takes a while.
And you got to mix eating in there and everything else.
Adrenaline's got to go down.
Shower.
Sure.
And
how much of that is kind of regimented at this level for you guys? I know, like when they get to Major League Baseball and the big league, they're telling them what to eat, when to go, when to do everything. I mean, at this level, are you guys on that kind of program with foods and things, or is it pretty much, you're kind of responsible for your own, obviously trainers and stuff help with that, but it's on your own to make sure you're eating the right things and doing the right things to be ready for ball games.
Yeah, definitely on your own here. And that's the biggest difference between, levels of ball that I've played at and stuff is it's just, it's what works for each individual player.
Sure.
Everybody's different. Everybody kind of, has their routine and goes through it. And, it's going to be, what I do is going to be different than Easton. What Easton does is going to be different than the next guy. So,
well, I didn't know because, science is so much farther advanced along on all this kind of stuff. And so everyone's like, you even at those levels, and they're just like, okay, you got to do the perfect cocktail of this to make sure that you're going to peak your performance and all that. And I know people do a lot of that studying, so I didn't know if that was, kind of. I know with major league levels of all sports that they're way into that kind of thing, but I didn't know if that was kind of matriculating down into the other levels and saying, no, we're instilling these programs. And I imagine maybe the AAA ball clubs and stuff were, revenue's a little bit more coming in and things.
right.
They can access some of that kind of thing. But
definitely. And the higher up you go, the more money you make and stuff like that. And it is easier to get on some of those regimens or do some of those things.
Sure.
And that's one of the biggest differences with us is there's not a lot of money in independent professional baseball.
Sure.
And it's just it's guys stretching things out. It's guys making do, grinding out.
Sure.
And, just doing what they can to stay on top of what they need to be doing as far as food, sleep, nutrition, just kind of the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. And I imagine too, it's like any other ball club. You got your more experienced veterans and the younger folks, and the veterans always kind of look out for the younger guys, and vice versa too, where the younger guys are kind of learning, and but also in the same time imparting some the experiences and things they have with the veterans, and there's that mix there.
It's always nice to see the guys that played at like even affiliate levels and the higher levels, the way they handle themselves in a clubhouse or wherever they're at versus the guys that's their first year, and they kind of have their own, like you said, their own regiment, their plan and everything, and they'll just kind of go about their way, and the guys will just watch them. They just sit there and pick up on what they're doing and make their own little thing about it or whatever they got to do.
I'm guessing both of you guys have seen the movie Bull Durham, right? Okay. I kind of figured. I was like, these are baseball players. I mean, I know the movie's older, but it's a baseball movie. But there's a scene in that movie like where they're in the back of the bus talking. And Kevin Costner is sitting there, and he's like, he's been to the show and all that. I mean, is there ever those kind of moments where there's the one guy who maybe had played with an organization at the big, and he's like, yeah, he was there. I mean, is there ever those kind of moments where you have the guys come in to play or anything like that, where it's like, oh, they've been to the show. Let's talk about that. I mean, is there ever those kind of moments at this level?
Yeah, I've definitely seen it. I was fortunate enough to play a little bit of winter ball with a bunch of affiliated guys.
So you're the guy that's been to the show.
There was only two guys in the league at the time that I was playing in Guatemala that were not affiliated, and I was one of the two.
Yeah.
So technically, I mean, it's there at that level. There's a lot of guys that ask me about it, and there was guys that I played with that, I've watched play on TV. I've had a couple of their baseball cards and, and everything like that. And that's one thing that, when you're doing things like that,
sure,
and you're talking to the younger guys, or somebody asks you about it, it's like, it is kind of in a sense breathtaking at first, and it's like, holy cow, I'm like, this guy's here, this guy's playing, like, I've seen him, but at the same time, you have to have the mentality,
act like you've been there before
and stuff. You have to act like you've been there before, and at the end of the day, regardless of the level you're playing at, if and we'll just use somebody like Mike Trout.
Yeah.
If Mike Trout comes down and is playing in the Pecos League, like, is he going to be one of the best players, probably the best player in the league? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you have to have the mindset and mentality that he's on the same field as you. You deserve to be there. He's no better than you.
Absolutely.
You're on, when you're on that field and somebody else is on that field, it doesn't matter who it is. Really nobody is better than anybody else, because if they were that much better, they wouldn't be there with you, or you would be at that higher level too.
But it's got to also be an inspirational moment for the other players too, because they're like, wow, this guy's here where I'm at. That kind of puts it in perspective. You're like, well, shoot, I'm just a couple pitches away from myself being at that level, I mean,
exactly.
That's that it flips the other way too. It's like, wow, look, I'm, and I've kind of, so I imagine too, it also works as a motivating factor. It's like, I'm on the right path here. I'm on the path
right.
that I'm trying to go.
And not only that, you have to think about things too. Like, a lot of times moving up the ladder in professional baseball, because there are so many levels. It's like, it's being in the right place at the right time. It's not always about your stats and what you've done, as much as that helps. At the same time, a lot of it is, a team, seeing you, or, a scout, or whoever it is from a certain organization, or, different level, seeing you play a game, and, liking what they see. And that's how that's how the call-ups really start.
Sure.
And, for the most part, and, just getting your foot in the door. So,
that's really, and it's
the more,
like,
go ahead.
I was, it's like any other, you're just trying to put your body of work out there in front of someone that can influence that and put you somewhere. And that's,
definitely.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And, and then the more that you have players around that, people know, or B, they've got a lot of stuff on as far as social media or on TV, or, they're a big prospect, this and that. There's going to be more people watching. And even though it's all basically for that individual player, everybody that's on the field playing and getting the opportunity to play, especially in those games when there's people there watching and stuff, it's really a huge advantage to them, because they don't have the pressure of knowing, all of these people are here to watch me.
Sure.
But at the same time, all of those people are going to, be seeing you, especially, throughout the game. And, if you have a really good game and stuff, you're going to stand out. And that could be, the way you punch your ticket.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I imagine there's probably managers looking at rosters and things, and they're like, okay, I need a guy. And then they're like, oh, I remember that guy from the Invaders. He was a real team player. I think he's a nice guy to round out my roster here, and let's give them a call. That's exactly how it happens.
Well, I mean, I was even told, I think it's just kind of an easy way to describe it. Like you're saying, it's timing based. The league I was in before this, I ended up meeting a guy that was drafted in the 8th round. He's my roommate, and he told me there's 3 things you need to play affiliate baseball. You need 2 of the 3. You need timing, you need talent, or you need to know somebody. You need 2 of those 3. And any organization, that'll get you up there. And that's just like he said, it just depends on when you show out, and if you show out, and if you know somebody.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much how it does go, just like a job, just like anything.
Yeah, it really is. And it's just that you just have a few more eyeballs on you trying to get this job, as opposed to the guy working his corporate ladder at some Fortune 500 company or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's been kind of a different season this year for the Invaders. 3-month, kind of a season crammed into a 3-month period here over the summer. And so it's been kind of hot and heavy for you guys over the last couple months here. Obviously, a lot of changes here and there with schedules and moving things around. But good news is we're down to the nitty gritty of the season here. We're in the playoffs now. And the Invaders are a series away from playing for a championship here. That's pretty exciting stuff. So, I mean, from the manager standpoint, you got to be excited. Hey, and I remember at the beginning of the season when we moved in, we're kind of the Invaders are kind of that targeted team in the Pecos League. They're people gun for this team, so you're going to get your A game every time. The Invaders face an opponent. They're looking at the Invaders as, all right, we got to bring our best game kind of thing. And obviously the team's come through, battle tested this through past 3 months, and here we sit a series away from talking about a championship here. So got to be good stuff there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. At the beginning of the season, we started off, pretty rough. The first half of the season, it was kind of, just playing 500 ball. But
in baseball, that's if you can play 500 ball, you're in the hunt, right? I mean, that's baseball. You just got to hang in there, and you can make a run at the end.
Right, and then more times than not, 500 baseball is going to be successful.
Yeah.
It was something that things weren't going things really weren't going our way, and we made a few changes as far as roster. Mm-hmm. As rosters go and stuff. We actually had a couple of guys get moved up,
which is a bad problem for you, but good problem for them.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I've always told myself and everybody that played for me this year, and even I guess last year during the COVID season when I was in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I love winning. I hate losing more than I like winning. And you know, I'm gonna do pretty much anything I can, you know, to win outside of, you know, really hurting somebody's arm or anything like that.
Within the rules of the game.
Exactly. And I'm sure, I mean, Easton's been with me for 2 years now, and, or I guess this is the second year. And that's one of the things that I've, you know, always said is, you know, if somebody gets a call, if I get a call about somebody else gets a call, about, you know, moving up or anything, the one, you know, as much as I like winning, I'm never going to hold a player back or, you know, not let them go just so I can win.
Well, that's
right
winning.
here.
Moving up is winning. That's exactly what it is. You know, I mean, every ball player on that roster have dreams and aspirations of playing in the pros. You know,
Right,
and that's moving towards that goal, or to the they're in the pros now, Major League Baseball, the top level of baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So from there, like I said, you know, it started off a little shaky. We made a few changes, you know, roster wise. I moved a couple of guys around defensively a little bit, and you know, started trying a few different things out, and figured out, you know, what was working best. And we started playing really good baseball, and we finished out the regular season strong. We swept Tucson 4 games, and you know, and then moving into the playoffs, we went, and the first round of the playoffs were hosted in Alpine, which is where I've played in this league. So that was it was
kind of home territory for you.
It was a little bit of home territory. It was nice to go back. That's where I've been living in the off season. Me and my fiance Julie, we've got a house there, and so I was able to sleep in my own bed. But you know, it was great to go back there and you know, win that series.
A little bit sweeter when you go back to his places and show them up.
Oh yeah, and you know, and it was you know, home field advantage for them. They had a stadium full of fans, and
they're there for you, Lance. By the way, they're like, "Oh, Lance back in town. Let's pack the stadium."
Exactly. Yeah, sure. Didn't sound like it, but
so. But yeah, no, it was good. You know, we came out. We got the job done from, you know, top to bottom. It was the whole team. It wasn't an individual.
Sure.
And, you know, everybody played a part in some, you know, fashion or way.
Sure. It's almost like the story was meant to be written that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sometimes you're
always
going through life,
looking back.
Yeah, and it's like, well, in a little bit of sweet irony, we ended up here, you know, and here it is. And it's like, it's almost like, well, that's the way it's supposed to happen. So we're going to play it out here, and here it is. So that's cool.
Exactly. And then, you know, the second round, or the semifinals, on our side of the playoff bracket is coming up. We're actually traveling to Garden City, Kansas today. So we got about a 8-hour drive ahead of us, and
well, you should have plenty of sleeping opportunities. You know, like we were talking about earlier. You know, you want to find ball players, they'll find sleep. Bus, they probably all got. Do y'all have designated spots and everything? Like, that's my seat. That's my. I mean, y'all. You spend enough time on the road. I didn't know if y'all are like that automatic, where assigned seats are just kind of formed and things like that.
Over time, guys definitely find their preferred spots.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's true. However, we actually don't have a bus. We don't have vans or anything like that.
Is everyone traveling their own? Or?
I've tried to, you know, figure things out. Try to get vans donated. A bus donated, or, you know, see if we could rent something. And, you know, nothing's really come up about it. And,
okay.
You know, it makes life a lot harder for myself and all the guys on the team, but at the end of the day, we're splitting up, driving our own cars.
Okay. Caravanning, I guess, basically.
That's exactly it. And, you know, like I said, it's not always the funnest. It's not always the best for the team.
Well, the camaraderie does happen in those moments where everyone's together. So that bus is kind of an important part of the team chemistry.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and moving forward in years to come, that's going to be one of the biggest things is, you know, I'm hoping that we can get something, you know, donated, or be able to, you know, work something out to where we can use a van or a bus or whatever it is to get everybody together. And
absolutely,
it's just it's a lot more expensive too. Driving
You got
own cars.
You got a big pile of lemons here. We're making lemonade, and
exactly.
Unfortunately, the bus is not part of the lemonade yet. But if anybody's listening, hey, some baseball fans out there, they know where they can procure a bus or a van or something that could hold a baseball team's worth of men. Then please reach out. They would love to. Would you have to paint it lime green though? The station, would that be? Probably a safer vehicle. I mean, it's really hard to get in an accident when you see a giant lime green thing coming down the highway.
That's very true. That's very true.
Oh man. So obviously, fans aren't going to be. I mean, I guess you could go to Kansas if you'd like to carpool and go, but obviously, we're just going to have to wait with bated breath here back home and hear the results and everything from that series up in Garden City.
Yeah. So and actually, if anybody wants to watch, you can always watch it. It's
they got some streams.
It's live. Up? Every game in the league is live streamed on Meridix.
Okay.
It's also play by play and stuff is done on the app Point Streak.
Okay. Is there a link on the Invaders Facebook or anything?
There will be a link for the Meridix. There's a link for the Point Streak, and then there's also in Garden City they've got a radio station that covers every single game. So the radio station will also be posted.
Nice, and depending on the station, a lot of those stream around the world or at least in the country too. So you could probably look up. If you find their call letters and everything, we could probably look it up online too.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's usually what it like when I've went and looked up, things. It's just, it's a radio station play by play. It's the guy. I believe his name. I'm pretty sure his name is Joe. I met him the last time we were in Garden City, and he does a really good job with it.
Now, granted, he's going to be calling from a Garden City perspective. So,
right. Exactly.
So remember that, he's not going to be pro Invader so much.
That's very true. But, I will say, my experience in the past in the league and stuff, especially being playoffs, the stadium there will be packed.
Good deal. That's great. So, hopefully now, if we get to the championship, what's the two teams on the other side of the bracket that you could face?
The Tucson Seguros in Tucson, Arizona. And the Bakersfield Train Robbers out of Bakersfield, California.
Now, is there any chance that a series with either one of those would be back here in Roswell, or are those all on the road too?
No, it'll be on the road.
Okay. Is that all based on rankings and things? Or?
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, sir. Because actually, we squeaked by and got into the playoffs, and we were the absolute last seed. But like I said, the second half of the season towards the end and everything, we were playing our best baseball, doing what we needed to do to get in the playoffs.
Peaked at the right time.
Yeah. We got that's definitely right. We got hot at the right time, and but
that's baseball. That's sports, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep. Moving
it's so
in,
ebb and flow, and so that's. The greatest teams on the planet are going to have those ebbs and flows and slumps, and it's baseball, man. Someone's got a hitch in their swing. Something happened that messed up. Now it's screwing up my pitches. I mean, that's baseball. That's just it's mechanics. And do you have any superstitious guys on the team where I know you're stepping on the line, that's a given. But I mean, where they're like, okay, these socks only, or I'm not going to change this until the streak ends. Any of this kind of stuff. I'm sure that happens too.
Mike Floor with his Oakland Raiders shirt.
Oh man,
there's always somebody on the team that's out like that.
And you might not even know it. It might not be obvious, but if you go up and ask just about anybody, there's one little thing. Whether it's a headband they wear every time, or an arm sleeve they wear every time, it's just something.
I know exactly, because I used to play. I'm from Maryland, D.C. originally, but I used to play hockey when I was young, and I was a goaltender for a while. And goalies in hockey are generally not the most sanest people on the planet. They're pretty crazy individuals. But oh my God, you talk about traditions, and so I was the same way. And I'm not that in my life generally. I'm not like avoiding ladders, and I'm just living my life, Yeah. But man, when I got to hockey, I'm like, I got to put my left pad on first. I got to, like, when I come up to the goal, I got to tap it a certain way, or I'm going to have a bad game. The mojo just got in there when you hit, and I don't know what happened. And Any other aspect of my life, never. But you put me in there, and I was like, oh, I better hit the pad. I'm going to, it's sports. I don't know what it is. It's just sports and how it is.
It's a frame of mind, really.
Yeah.
Get you set up for it.
Yeah, something happened well to you, and you're like, all right, what? It must have been the shoes. It must have been this, and so you in your head you sell it.
Yeah,
and it's legit. It's not hokum, man. That's legit. If you build it up in your head that you're not going to do well unless you got those shoes on, or you're not going to do well unless you have it's the brain's a powerful thing with that kind of stuff.
Oh, most definitely.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess his manager's like, stop, just stop. Don't put that in your head, man. Here's a new pair of shoes. Just wear them. Start with practice. But like I said, we're going to keep now. The Garden City stuff will start tomorrow, right? That series will start tomorrow. What time is the first game tomorrow?
It's a 6:05 start time, but there is an hour difference.
Yeah, they're in Central Time, so it'll be 5:05 our time.
Right. So instead of we're an hour off, and then we adjust to that, and then
every time.
Go. So it will be with the game being a little bit earlier. There will be a couple more innings with daylight rather than just under the lights. So, and that's one thing too that I've seen a lot, especially with some of the younger guys. When guys are playing, college ball and stuff like that, they don't have near as many games at night under the lights. So that's another adjustment that a lot of those younger guys have to make. I
never thought about that, but you make a good point.
Playing at dark, playing in the night when the lights are on and everything. It's completely different than playing, during the day where everything's just natural sunlight and as much as people don't think about it, it really does make a huge difference.
I would, especially your outfielders and things that are catching pop flies in the light and things, and the sun's pretty consistent. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You're gonna know where it's at and everything. Where the lights, it could play all kind of havoc on judging just depth to distance, and that's why that's why all the time you see guys, if you lose it in the lights, man, and then start covering the head, But you're right, though. You never think about that, but that's a huge, it's almost that Hoosiers moment. In the movie Hoosiers, another old movie, I don't know if you ever seen where the Gene Hackman gets the team to the state playoffs, and the first thing they're in the big giant 50,000 or 20,000 seat arena or whatever, and he's like with his tape measure out there measuring how tall is that basket there? 10 feet, coach, and just like the one in our Hickory gym, isn't it? And there is some of that, but no, if you've never played, these are actual obstacles that are just different than, it's more than just the intimidation factor there, but hey, the ball bounces different on this turf versus in our patch of grass.
Exactly. See, and that is the thing. Garden City's infield is turf.
Gotcha. So the ball's gonna move a little faster.
So it'll move a little faster, but you're not gonna have the bad hops. It's all gonna be true.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different playing on natural surface than it is turf, but it's a lot easier to go from natural surface to turf.
Exactly.
Yeah, turf is pretty consistent.
Exactly.
We're home field with your patch of grass, and you know where the divots are. They don't know where the divots are.
Most definitely.
That's true home field advantage. And you can play that to your advantage. Absolutely. Again, back in my hockey, that's no different. If your home boards, you're like, there's a dead spot in that board right there. If you hit the puck right off that, it won't bounce that way. It'll bounce this way. And that's the kind of stuff you figure out at your home field, So that's awesome. So again, tune in. Follow the Roswell Invaders on Facebook, probably the easiest way. That way you can get the times and locations where you can pick up the series here with Garden City starting tomorrow, 5 o'clock our time. Start tuning in about 5 p.m. our time. And I imagine they'll have probably a little bit of 15, 20, 30-minute pregame or something, so you could probably catch it on there then. And sit back and enjoy, and hopefully we're talking about a series win, and then we're talking about going to either Bakersfield or Tucson here. Do you have a preference? I know you can't look past this series, but would you rather go to Tucson or Bakersfield? I guess as manager I could ask. You're allowed to.
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because, whether we are playing a game here in Roswell or we're playing in Bakersfield, California, or at the end of the day, we still got to play the same game. We got to come out ready to go. And I know that, like I said earlier, we squeaked into the playoffs, so we're not going to have home field advantage. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter to me, and it's actually a really good feeling, going into opponent stadiums and stuff and winning the series, and it's like we're celebrating, we're happy, we're doing what we need to do. And now they're going home in front of their own fans.
Sure. Well, it's probably a unique situation for this ball club because, like I said at the beginning, this team's always been kind of in the Pecos League, that target team, because I don't know if it's aliens or what it is. It's just this team's got a bigger spotlight on it than some of the other ball clubs. And so for this year, you actually had to play the role of Cinderella. You know what I mean? You were kind of that Cinderella team in the playoffs, there's something magical about that role that's why, how many times you see it in sport where there's that one team that had no business being in the playoffs. They get in the playoffs and they're dominant, Yeah. And sometimes that's a little bit sweeter a run when you do a championship run.
You get hot, you catch fire at the right time. And
those are the ones you tell stories about to your kids later, not the one where we dominated everybody and we won 37-0 every week, No, we tell the stories about, we had no business being there, and we came in, and these guys had shiny uniforms. They looked way out of our class, and we just killed them. That's the better story.
Right. But, as far as we play, we've played quite a few games in Tucson this year, and I don't know where the championship is going to be. We have to get the job first. We have to get the job done.
You got to beat Garden City before we talk about it. I understand.
However, at the end of the day, we're going to be playing baseball, and the mound's still going to be 60 feet 6 inches away. The batter's boxes are still going to be the same at the plate.
Sure.
The bases are still 90 feet. So at the end of the day, I'm very grateful to be able to get out there and compete and play the game. And,
sure.
I'm just looking forward to the opportunity, and I really believe we're gonna pull it off and get there. Team's playing good, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to get you back in after the series, win, lose, draw, just to talk and everything, and hopefully you come back and we'll talk about the championship. But just love to have you guys come in and chit chat some more and just talk some baseball and. Talk about either a celebration or what's next for the off season. Either way,
appreciate it. The celebration or looking forward to the championship series sounds a lot better to me right now.
I completely agree. But awesome, guys. Well, good luck in the upcoming series, and hopefully we can talk some more after that series and talk about our championship series, either Tucson or Bakersfield.
Absolutely.
Although August in Tucson's not probably the most comfortable place to be.
It's hot. It's very, very. It was very, very hot.
Pretty hot in Bakersfield.
I'm about to say, Bakersfield ain't exactly the Arctic either. So
we'll see. And that's one thing. If it is in Bakersfield and stuff, never played a game in California in my life. So
I don't know.
That would be pretty cool.
I see all the tourist commercials for California. Looks nice.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks. Congrats on the playoff run here, and we look forward to talking some more wins and stuff down the road here.
All righty. Thank you for having us.
Take care.
Thank you.
Safe travels to Kansas. Man, I don't envy you. I'm just thinking, that just sounds awful. Sorry, I don't mean it, but just hey, let's get in a car and drive to Kansas right now. No, not my top 10 things I want to do. All right, it is 7:54. Let's go ahead and pause for let's do our sports update brought to you by DSI.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Southeastern New Mexico Sports Report. It's not too early to start talking football. No. High school football will start on August the 20th, and hopefully we'll have a full season. Last year we certainly did not. Carlsbad and Roswell can both tell you they both played only 4 games. The Cavemen will be starting on August 20th at home against Artesia. Meanwhile, Roswell plays at home against Farmington on that day. Carlsbad was 2-2 in their 4 games. They've got a couple of second-team All-Staters back this time around, Eli Assay and Ramon Loya. Meanwhile, Roswell, the state champs in Class 5A for 2018 and 2019. They were 13-0 in 2019. They ended up 2-2 last year in that abbreviated schedule. The Coyotes start at home once again on the 20th against Farmington. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at 92.9 The Brand.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Nissan says its huge factory in Smyrna, Tennessee will close for 2 weeks starting Monday due to computer chip shortages brought on by the coronavirus outbreak in Malaysia. The shutdown is among the longest at any U.S. auto plant of this size since the semiconductor shortage. Tennessee State University is clearing the account balances of students returning to study this fall. The university president said paying off those account balances for students will relieve some of the financial stress that they have and allow them to focus on studying and completing their degrees. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 162 points, closing at 35,264. The Nasdaq lost 72 to 14,788, and the S&P 500 up 4 to 4,436. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The massive vehicle blowout is on now at Roswell Nissan with truckloads of vehicles, virtually every make and model to choose from at liquidation prices. Get a 2018 Altima for just $189 a month, a 2016 Versa for just $149 a month, or an 08 Pathfinder for just $99 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a Bluetooth speaker with a qualified test drive, and a Target gift card with purchase. And bring your mailer to play Lucky Lotto to win cold, hard cash. Sizzling savings during the massive vehicle blowout on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Wreck 'em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football. The Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Red Dirt Black Gold 2021 is coming Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia, featuring some of the best in Red Dirt country from Tel Runyon, Josh Malloy, Bart Crow, and Reckless Kelly. 92.9 The Brand is giving you the chance to score a VIP experience. We're talking food, backstage access, and the best seat in the house. Just text VIP along with your name to 291-7468. That's VIP along with your name to 291-7468. Enter for your chance to go VIP from Red Dirt Black Gold and The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 7:59. Hey, I was just seeing on news that there's rumors out there that Ross and Rachel are dating. The friends from Friends, yes, Ross, like for real, dating. Like the reunion sparked something, and now they're rumored to be dating again. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's a good. I don't. I shouldn't have an opinion on this, but in my head, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Of course, Ross and Rachel are dating. They should be. Anyway, we're going to talk school board next hour. Superintendent Brian Luck will join us here. We'll talk all about last night and everything up next. First is news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Senate votes to spend a lot of money. 19 Republicans joining the Democrats, approving a $1.2 trillion compromise infrastructure bill. Following up on that, senators, and this time it was a party line vote, advanced a $3.5 trillion Democratic proposal that includes money for social and climate change programs. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham doesn't like that one bit.
This is the worst thought-out idea I've ever seen. They're just throwing every liberal idea and hope it sticks to the wall. and their whole reason for being on the left is in this bill.
Inflation continues to rage, but the Labor Department says that while consumer prices did rise last month, it was the slowest rate of increase since February, a 0.5% rise from June to July. The Taliban continuing to roll up territory in Afghanistan, according to the BBC's Sanjay Gupta.
Taliban militants have now captured 8 provincial capitals in a sweeping offensive across the country, the latest being Faizabad, the capital of the Badakhshan province, which fell earlier on Wednesday.
The Taliban launched its offensive across Afghanistan as U.S. and other Western troops started to pull out of the country. At this point, the U.S. troop withdrawal is virtually complete. With Governor Andrew Cuomo resigning, New York's lieutenant governor is about to move up.
Kathy Hochul in 2 weeks will become the state's first female governor, following a transition period in which Cuomo has said he will stay on and work to ease her into a job that he dominated over his 3 terms in office. Hochul stayed out of public sight Tuesday, but said in a statement she is, quote, prepared to lead. Hochul plans to hold her first news conference this afternoon at the state capitol.
Correspondent Mike Hempen. Wall Street, the Dow is up 189 points. The S&P ahead 10. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's be boring and do a commercial about cash-out refinances. It's Ryan, and our mortgage team will often have a listener say, I think I understand what a cash-out refinance is, but can't that be bad for you sometimes? So let's hit on that. As with anything, it's certainly not the right move for everyone. If we don't have to, we don't want to add a bunch of years onto our loan, or increase our monthly payment too much, or pay more in the long run. But because home values have skyrocketed so far up the last few years, while rates have come so far down, we've seen many scenarios where listeners today can pull out a significant chunk of money from the new value in their home, while lowering the years on the overall loan, while lowering their monthly payment, and lowering how much they ultimately pay. The key is to just look at the whole picture and be honest with yourself about your situation. If you're looking for someone to show you your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A Chinese court has sentenced Canadian entrepreneur Michael Spavor to prison. Spy case linked to Beijing's pressure campaign against the Canadian government over the arrest of a Chinese tech executive.
The court in Dandong in the north of China sentenced him to 11 years in jail, adding that he will also be deported, although it didn't clarify when the latter would happen. Mr. Spavor ran a business in the city just on the border with North Korea, where he organised cultural visits. He was arrested in the days after the Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou was detained in Canada, accused of fraud. Her extradition battle is expected to come to a head soon. The Canadian authorities insist the cases are linked, accusing China of hostage diplomacy. It's something Beijing has denied.
The BBC's Robin Brandt, the Huawei case, one of a series of conflicts between Beijing and the West over various issues. News and analysis at townhall.com. Looking to buy a new car or truck? Hope you're not in a hurry.
Nissan says its huge factory in Smyrna, Tennessee will close for 2 weeks starting Monday. The shutdown's due to computer chip shortages brought on by a coronavirus outbreak in Malaysia. The shutdown is among the longest at any U.S. auto plant of this size since the semiconductor shortage started to hit late last year. The shortage has hobbled auto production worldwide. It expects production to resume August 30th. The 6 million square foot Tennessee factory employs 6,700 people and makes 6 Nissan models, including the Rogue small SUV, its top-selling vehicle. Keith Peters reporting.
Lawyers acting on behalf of the U.S. government have challenged a British judge's decision to block the extradition of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to face espionage charges in the United States. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Wait for it.
Huh?
Deuce.
All right. Mornings with Mike Winters. The wait was worth it.
I like to keep them in suspense. It's all about that anticipation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like to build my anticipation in the middle of words.
Yeah, right. That's yes. Break them up by syllable.
There you go. really make them wait. It's the William Shatner approach.
It's the way to be sensitive.
And I'm gonna be.
Well, happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all this frivolity, and it's only Wednesday.
I know.
We're just going to be downright goofy by Friday.
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you even imagine? You got this on a Wednesday. You're going to have hot dogs on hamburger buns by Friday. Dogs and cats living together. It's just pure pandemonium. World gone mad.
Yep.
It's a mad world. They should make a sequel to that called It's a Mad World.
Maybe it's out there.
Or a Madder World. Not sure.
Matter World.
Yeah.
Matter.
Matter. That's just fun to say because it gives you all flappy mouth.
Yep. Starring John Madden.
Boom.
Boom.
Yep. Whole section in the middle with his skadoodle.
You know what makes it a matter world?
No, you got to get Frank Kelly into it.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to do that. I will just do that version. I'm not even going to try to go, boom.
Here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
Here's a guy who...
I'm not going to go that level.
No.
But, it'd be like, it's a matter world because, well, let's circle these corns on the grill right here.
Look over here in the corner.
They're too close to the ribs. You're going to get some ribs with your... That's why it's so matter out here.
Here's a guy who doesn't mind combining his condiments with the rest of his meats.
What you need is good buffer of something with a husk, like a tamale, right here.
And what you got right here, boom, potato barrier. It's a potato barrier.
Yep, that's that. Mm-hmm. That's a Madden world.
That's basically the movie that's described in Idiocracy, just, actually a little bit more complex. Saying we're getting there.
It's what plants crave.
We're halfway there.
We are. Fortunately, we will evolve into more poignant conversation this hour. Superintendent of the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck's going to join us here in just a few minutes. Last night was the school board meeting. It was a well-attended. We'll go with that.
Okay.
It was well attended.
You got to admire,
at least for part of it.
At the very least, you got to admire the passion of the people.
I will give you that. Yes.
When it comes right down to it, if there's a subject that people are passionate about, at least they stand up for it. Mm-hmm. I admire the passion of the people. Yeah. See right there, optimism in the face of adversity, my friend. That's how I roll.
I get it. Yeah, and and joking aside, you're right. It's good because obviously we want people
healthy debate is great.
Interested and invested in our children. That's very important.
Absolutely.
But maybe you ought to. All I'm saying is come informed before you just go in there and talk. That's all I'm saying. but you're right.
There's a shirt. Oh, I can't remember who it was that made it, but it was like. Why do I need to research when I can use my opinions as my facts? Or something like that.
I feel like that's a mantra for this
Why do
world
I need
we
to
live
research when I can use my feelings as my facts? That's what it was.
Yep, that's right. But anyway, Brian's going to join us. We're going to talk all about the school starting here, and then we'll get the highlights from last night's school board meeting as well. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with local news, along with your town hall business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. If you like rain, I think we're going to get some. Enjoy.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure should be forming over eastern New Mexico today, and we could get some afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. We're looking at mid-90s for the afternoon high. Maybe some showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight and down to 70. For tomorrow, we'll start off fair, partly sunny, our high in the low to mid-90s, and more afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. That's good news. Our temp is higher than our humidity. I don't know if that's always been the case here lately this summer, but anyway, that's good news. Winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance of showers today. They say mainly for the afternoon, although I don't know, man. There's clouds and everything. I don't know if we'll get to 4 o'clock. Partly cloudy, high of 94 today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. 40% chance of rain for tonight as well. Mostly cloudy otherwise with a overnight low of 71 and south winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, our chance of rain is at 50%, and it's pretty much all day, it looks like. Partly cloudy with a high of 91 on Thursday, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. 50% chance of rain Thursday night as well. Friday, a 60% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 85. At least the temperature's coming down. Winds will be out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then rain chances continue this weekend as well. A 50% on Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 83. A 40% chance of rain Sunday, partly cloudy, highs right around 86. All right, it is 12 minutes after 8 o'clock before we take our quick break here. Nook at Asian Market is looking for some employees. Right now, she has immediate openings available. Now, she's not looking for cooks. Nook is on the cooking. She's got the cooking taken care of, and she cranks out delicious food. But, yeah, she's got that covered. But she does need help with wait staff. And then also sales and cashiers. So she needs help both on the market side and on the restaurant side. If you're interested, she is looking for friendly and hardworking people. If you have any questions or want more information, she wants you to apply in person. So swing by Nook's Asian Market at 5702 South Main Street right here in Roswell. Just a tip, though, I wouldn't go in the lunch hour. She's very busy cooking food during the lunch hour, so she may not have time to talk to you. So maybe wait till after lunch before you go there. But swing on by 5702 South Main here in Roswell, and don't forget, Asian Market is an equal opportunity employer. All right, it is 8:13. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then Superintendent Brian Luck going to join us on the other side. We'll talk some RISD on the other side with talk about last night's school board meeting, talk about schools, years open, all that good stuff. Don't go away.
The massive vehicle blowout is on now at Roswell Nissan with truckloads of vehicles, virtually every make and model to choose from at liquidation prices. Get a 2018 Altima for just $189 a month, a 2016 Versa for just $149 a month, or an 08 Pathfinder for just $99 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a Bluetooth speaker with a qualified test drive, and a Target gift card with purchase. And bring your mailer to play Lucky Lotto to win cold, hard cash. Sizzling savings during the massive vehicle blowout on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Bob Reed Pest Control is committed to providing the most modern pest control management solutions for homes and businesses. Bob Reed can handle every aspect of pest control, from general insects to trees, shrubs, yard treatments, and commercial weed control. They're the only authorized Centricon termite elimination system operator in southeastern New Mexico. No job is too big or too small. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. Southeastern New Mexico's pest management professionals, 623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wreck 'em. He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio, I think last time I spoke to this man officially in here, he was just a plain old principal. Now, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
That's true. Well, officially, congratulations.
Thank you.
I know I've told you this several times, but here on air, it's obviously, I'm sure a lot of people very happy with this choice, and it's great to see a person that's kind of been a part of the fabric of this community for a long time now, running the show here for the district. I mean, the board's picked to run the show. The board runs the
absolutely.
The district. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
But congratulations. That's great to see that.
Thank you.
So.
No, it's pretty neat. It's something that's been a while coming for me. I'm very, very humbled by it. It's lots of really good people have gone before me, and there's a lot of pressure too with being from here. And
you are a lightning rod.
Knowing the ins and outs, and I'm hoping to use as much of that to my advantage as I can versus it being a detriment. So
sure.
I'm excited, though. I'm very excited.
Well, and I think I love, and not that I'm saying that superintendents, a lot of them have experience in, at teacher levels and things like that. But I think it's great because, as the principal at Goddard High just your career in the RASD, the kids, that's a difference. There's a difference from, I'm not saying other things are bad things, but when you come from a theoretical world versus a world of actually doing it, I'm not saying there's wrong with theoretical, but sometimes you need the practical to work with the theoretical to actually make sure the theoretical's on target, and that experience isn't replaceable. And I think that's going to serve you well as a superintendent, where someone who's just done the theory side of it may not have as much experience doing that.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
That's the plan right now.
Well, let me ask, before we get to last night's meeting and everything, let's just talk about the school year. How's this transition? I know it's a weird start to a school year compared to what we've been going through, but we're having a start to the school year, everything. How has that process been going for the
Well, I tell you what, it is August, and we're up and running. I mean, it was so neat the other morning, first day of school, to see parents taking off work a little bit and walking their kids to school. And I purposely drove through school zones this year, which was something totally different than I've ever done before.
Normally avoid them.
Yeah. And, but to see the looks on people's faces. And I've said this before that, the community has an ebb and flow with the school year. And last August, when we didn't go back to face-to-face instruction, I mean, there was just something missing on lots of counts. And, the hope right now is that pushes you through and we start our year. August is by far not the start of any year, but it is. It's the start of a kid's year. And,
absolutely.
And
by default, kind of your family's year too.
It really does. It moves us through our fall activities and then on into winter and Christmas, and then obviously you start looking forward to spring, but it really just, it feels like it just kind of sets the tone for the community. You've got particular events that are your benchmarks, and we're off and running. We've got all in-person learning going on right now at all of our schools.
Yeah.
We've got some virtual options that we can talk about those here in a little bit, but it was so neat walking into elementary schools, because I don't generally do that.
Yeah.
And just the energy.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time in the high school here.
Yeah, I did.
It's a different world in the elementary
school. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it is that energy that just miraculously appeared because of the first day of school was really nice to see. And like I said, our teachers have been working hard. They didn't have a lot of a summer this year, and a lot of them, it seemed like, talking to them, they were kind of concerned that, okay, going back into this, would I have it, in the tank after such a short summer? And for what I've seen, I mean, they're knocking it out. I mean,
Sure.
our people are back in. They're excited to have the kids back. We're working on, what does now normal look like versus, like a regular year, what I would say a regular year. And we're sorting through that, but it is so nice versus sitting there going, okay, well, let's check out our computers this day and come by and get your packets. I mean, it's so nice just to say, hey, the doors will be open. We'll have you inside, and we're back and running.
Yeah, and this is something, and I think I shared this with you last week when we were talking on the phone. I can't remember, but my wife, she's a second grade teacher. You know this.
Yes, sir.
I've told this on, but she's going into her 24th year now, and you're right. You're talking about, it's great to see kids going into school. I mean, we can talk about masks and stuff all day, whether you like it, not like it, any of that stuff. That's a different debate, in my opinion. But what I mean is, it's great to see these kids in school and everything. And one of the things that I think once you think about it, you're like, of course. But one of these things we don't think about till it happens is, and this was something my wife shared with me, that this leans to, we got to get these kids back in school. And she was telling me, she's a second grade teacher. So basically, when COVID started, those kids that she has right now, they were in kindergarten when all this started. And so that kindergarten year got kind of botched up a little bit, because the back half of that year, they just wasn't March on, it was done. And then, so that got messed up. Last year, there was minimal time in classroom. A lot of it was online for the most part. So her second graders, this is really their first time, with the exception of that little stint in kindergarten, where they've been in school for the whole year doing the procedures, and they don't know it because they haven't experienced it. And so my wife is, in essence, almost teaching them to be students in a school again, where it's like, oh, you got to learn the ropes, you got to walk in the line, you got to, all the procedures that are just part of every kid in elementary school experience. They haven't had it. So they got to learn it. And so that's another layer that we're now working on. And so I know everyone's got their points on masks and virtual and this and all that, but I don't care what you say, the kids need to be in school. And this is, and that's, whether they're wearing masks, not wearing masks, that's a different debate. They need to be in school. And this is putting that in that direction. And that's a good thing.
Well, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, you take 2 years, if you work in just whatever type of a job you work in, and we disrupt that 2 years, and then say, okay, now we're going to run back. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've nailed a good point there with just basic day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
And it, the first of every year, you're going to have to reteach a little.
Sure.
But I cannot imagine that this isn't a year where you're having to kind of take a little bit extra time. And we've asked our teachers to kind of look at that as far as, going forward. Don't just assume that
it's learned behavior at this point.
That a regular year, because you're right. I mean, there's a lot of difference between a first grader and a third grader, or a third grader and a fifth grader, and we have we've got kids at the high school level that were there a little bit last year, but they never did get a chance to go look around.
Sure.
The mid school kids, we've talked a lot with the parents. They said, well, we didn't get a chance to do any of that kind of stuff, and we've relied really heavily on flexibility with the kids, and just the resilience of the kids that show up, that they want to be there that bad that they're willing to make it work, and you can't overlook that.
Absolutely. Well, and that's it's a great thing when when you've got the kids invested desire to do that. I mean, especially when you get to your high school levels and things. And let's face it, teenagers are teenagers, and I don't care if we've all been one or going to be one, or you've at least parented one, and it's a challenge in a normal environment.
Oh, yeah.
But with COVID and all the other wrinkles, it's great to see that they are fully invested as well in wanting to do that and because I'm sure they're tired of. You know what I mean? They're tired of let's face it, it is very nice comfort to know when you got your school. It's like, all right, I got this. This is like, what's ahead of you, and unfortunately for these students, and this is from kindergarten all the way to 12th,
right?
That's not guaranteed for them right now. And we want to make that, but let's face it, last 2 years, it's like, hey, how is it going to be? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's going to change. It depends on the world here. And there is that stability that's so important, I think, for
Absolutely.
kids' structure and schedule and learning and things like that. So to see them back in school, mask not, whatever people upset about that, at the end of the day, the win is the kids are in school, in classrooms, being taught by teachers in the same room and everything. And that's where we need to be.
I could not agree more with you. And like you said, there's some debate to be had on all fronts, and I'll let some of the powers that be have those debates.
That's why they get the big bucks, the election. But you're right; they're elected officials, and this is what the elected officials do.
I do know that as a parent, and we've talked about this quite a bit, that that gets to be their decision when they look at stuff like that, and then they need to weigh a lot of those. I don't want to say options, but they need to weigh, for their decisions that they're going to make.
Sure.
The being in a room and having somebody. I mean, I've said this multiple times at different organizations. Teaching your kids is our job. That's what we signed up to do, and that's what we get the money for. And we just want the opportunity to do that. And last year with everything that happened and how our parents, boy, they didn't just chip in. I mean, they filled the void. They killed the vacuum there, kind of a deal. And that was super appreciated. And now it's our job again.
Yeah.
And that's what, my hope is that we'll get that opportunity to continue to do that job.
Absolutely. And but people keep being involved. Keep being, that your children will not succeed without your parents' involvement in that. The teachers will do everything they can to help them through, but without that home support from the family working and helping on that side, it's you always hear the take a village and all the cliches and everything, but it's legit. Everybody's got to do their part to make it happen.
And I'm kind of curious as to how this year plays out with so many parents and grandparents and neighbors, having to get involved.
Sure.
I'm kind of curious as to what a general evening looks like now with a student that comes home and the parents will say, "Well, do you have any homework tonight?" or something like that, and the kid says no. Immediately a lot of the parents can go back to last year and say, "No, last year, come here, open up," and I'm kind of curious as to what
those excuses won't fly no more.
I'm wondering, and what could that be like with everybody kind of on the same page?
Absolutely, yeah. It's when everyone's involved in that kind of stuff and looking out for each other and helping each other, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Well, let's kind of talk about the school board did meet last night. It was a well-attended, popular meeting because of the resolution vote about the mask. Now, this resolution, it's not. And correct me if anything I'm saying here is wrong on this, but basically what the board's saying is it's not. They're not dictating a policy that, yes, we're going to put masks or not put masks on. Basically, they're sending a resolution to the governor stating that we believe that we should be making local decisions best on. But, that's basically
right.
It's not. I mean, the mask is the catalyst for this resolution, obviously, but we're not. It's not a resolution saying no. We're not going to force kids to wear masks. We just want the ability to make that decision ourselves.
Right.
And that's basically what they were discussing last night. And of course, the public came out in droves to share their opinions with it, which is a good thing. I will never. That's exactly what this is for. And for the most part, I think most from what I heard, I caught some. I didn't catch all of it, but I caught a hunk of it online. And for the most part, most people were passionate, but were polite. There was a few times where they kind of had to settle things down a little bit, but for the most part, most people were passionate but behaved. So
absolutely, and and this is going to sound kind of funny, but I want to say thank you to the people that came out.
Yeah,
and I mean that. I mean that is what this system is for. And I don't think anybody got up there and didn't represent our town well. Or what their beliefs that they were passionate about, and I appreciate them doing that. I think that anytime you get to something like this, and it's been a while, I mean we've rocked along pretty good as a district, and really as a town without any kind of a major hot button event that sets people into this kind of a place. But they came in, they were respectful. They listened. They participated in the process. I think our board has stepped forward and done a good job. We'll see where we wind up with this. There's several school districts around the state that are moving in this general direction, and it comes back to local control. And that was pretty much the sentiment that was echoed by just about everybody there. We did have some people that, ironically, probably would have been arguing local control the other direction.
Yeah.
And I've talked to more than my fair share of people that have said, regardless which way you want to go, we do think that it should be a decision made here by this entity.
And I agree with that.
And I think going forward, I like the ball that's started rolling. Really,
sure.
It's going to sound weird to a lot of people just because, I mean that got intense a couple times.
Sure.
But I don't ever feel like it got to that point where, you were just like, man, this is something we're going to see on the internet.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. All right. Is this going to be on the world's dumbest, thing? You see those things, but no, it didn't turn out that way. Good.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's something, this is my opinion, my 2 cents. This is just me, not the express of anybody. Me outside looking in, and I see this and I look at the situation. I understand people are passionate about this. This is your children. I know it. Parents are going to fight to the death for their kids. That's
absolutely
that's the way it should be. However, when we talk, like you look at what's going on with the Floyd School Board, and everyone saw what happened there, and they're no longer they're done. And I mean, what more is coming of that? Who knows? But that's where they're at right now. And I guess my thought is, I'm like, I understand we want abuse of power. We want to make sure we address that and things like that. I get that. I'm also pick your battles. And what I mean by that is maybe our children's not the battleground for that kind of thing. When our elected officials and city, county levels have mass mandate problems, issues in these public yes, fight the governors on these things. But when we get to a point where we're in a classroom and at the end of the day, after all the fighting's done, after everyone decides who's right and who's not right, who's getting hurt the most? The kids. And not that I'm saying we shouldn't fight for kids and all that, but to defy the governor in that way through that conduit, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the only person that suffers is the kids. And that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive about choosing that avenue to fight this fight. I understand there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me on that and everything else. And God, me personally, I'm like, I don't know if the casualties involved here is worth that fight. I'd rather use this same fight and use it in a level where we're not, at the end of the day, the only people that are putting themselves in line are the elected officials and the folks that are passionate about it, not kids that are going to miss out on education. And I don't care what you say. We need our school board. We don't want the PED running the show here for Roswell, New Mexico. We want our people here running it. And if they do the way of Floyd, then guess what? we're going to have the PED all over us doing everything, and you think you're upset about things now. Wait till someone from somewhere else is telling you how to do things that has no idea how we do things here, and that's a problem. And at the end of the day, the kids are going to suffer because of that. So that's my opinion. I know other people disagree with me and all that, and Brian, as a superintendent, probably is not going to share on all that because, but I mean, that's just my opinion, and I get your passion, I get everything, but think about your end game sometimes too, and what happens and what becomes of that. So,
well, and that's quite the monologue to follow there.
Sorry, I just wanted, when I hear this kind of stuff, and I get it, I understand.
Yeah.
I know there's passions and everything. I'm just like, pick your battles on these, and this is one that I don't know if the consequences of those results are worth it on this one.
Well, I would say this, and we have looked into the other districts. Ironically, everybody's following what's going on with Floyd, and we're no different.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, I did ask the superintendent of Floyd. I said, just out of curiosity, in the meanwhile, are the kids wearing masks?
Yeah,
and the answer was yes, they're wearing masks. And so I just said, okay, because that man's got more on his plate than I can even fathom right now. So
Sure.
I just kind of stepped back.
Sure.
But what I would say is that at the end of the day, it is a business that we're running right now, and I was hired to run the business and to keep it open.
Mm-hmm.
And there's parameters that go with it on any direction that you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
We answer to people as well, so there's parameters there, and there are I don't say consequences, but there's mechanisms and there's manners by which we stay open. And my duty, I feel like, to the school board is to keep the doors open and to try to run as fast as I can to stay in front of whatever we can to do so. We answer to the PED as well. And again, I want to try to do whatever we can to keep our kids there. I do understand that maybe your kids, in some people's opinions, maybe that's kind of the final straw. And I get it. I mean, boy, you could hear the passion last night, and some of those families I felt for them, because I'm just like, I wonder what else has happened. And I just felt like this might have been the last straw, and I get it.
Yeah,
and I get it.
Yeah,
and I also know that we still have a job to do.
Yeah,
and I look forward. I look forward to what's going to come out of this. I really do, because
we need a resolution. We need and you need guidance, and we need we got to move on with the job of educating children.
Well, and I go back to the comment earlier about the ebb and flow of the year, and one of the last things that I want out of this is for whatever reason or any reason, for them to come in and say, we're done. We're going to shut down all schools for X number of days. And, I haven't heard that. That's not even been a rumble or an inkling, but it's been done before.
Sure.
And like I said, the meetings that I've been in with the state secretary of ed, and even our new state secretary of education, they've all committed that they want the doors open, and this is how we do it. And we'll cross all these other bridges and get it done.
Sure. And that's and to be honest, that's what the school board, the school district does, and that's and I know just with my wife and everything, and down to the teachers, it's like, you get handed a deck of cards, and you play the hand you're dealt, and that's what they're doing. And they're taking the things, agree, disagree, like, don't like, and they're making it happen to make sure our kids have the best opportunities when they walk through those doors.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. And I appreciate, and I get, like you said, I understand. I understand completely. People are mad. I understand they want to do something and fight. I agree. I'm the same way. But I also look and I'm thinking, is this the battleground? I mean, we could go other avenues. Maybe, this is where the city and county and those elected officials get involved with some of these mandates and things like that. And I just, because I'm worried that what's going to happen is if you go scorched earth, which is kind of what the Floyd thing's a little bit like. I'm afraid you're going to reap what you sow there. And our kids, are we willing to sacrifice that for our kids? And I'm not sure. My answer is yes on that. I understand some people disagree with me, but I just don't know if my answer is yes on that. And then again, that's my opinion, and that's me only. I know other people, and I want to say that too. I get it. Right. People disagree with me, and I understand what you're saying, what you're saying, and what a lot of these passions are about. And I'm just like, be careful. That's all I'm saying is like, be careful. There are consequences for this. Are you fully aware of that?
Well, I think everybody has a that point. And it could be, it will be different for different people again, because, like I said, we have no idea what others have gone through to get to the spot where they're at.
Sure.
And like I said, I think the process plays itself through. And last night was, I guess for all intents and purposes, the official start of that process. And we're looking forward to seeing what comes from it.
Yeah.
And two, while all this is going on, August is going to transpire, and we're going to get into September. We start sports next week.
We're weeks, so we're days away. I say week. We're days away.
We've got some soccer games next week, and then we start up with the rest of our fall sports, our football and our volleyball, and
next Friday.
And I mean this. That those things are they're on the table. And just because we've got them scheduled, and just because everything's moving forward, doesn't mean that something doesn't happen that stops. And so I think,
and if I remember, any outdoor sports and events and things, you're not required to wear masks and things.
Correct.
So if that's so football games Friday night, you're out in the soccer pitch, wherever. You're as of right now, you're good to go.
As of let's see, as of
8:41.
8:41. Yeah. And I think that's another thing is if something does change, and let's say we have to maybe get a little more with our mask, and that's not the people that's running the tickets gate. That's not their fault.
Exactly.
And again, even last year we had when we started with our sports. I had family that missed my daughter's entire volleyball season because they couldn't go to an inside game here in town.
Yeah.
And they could, we could watch it on video, and it's not the same.
It's not.
But my number's posted. I'll take it. I'll be more than happy to hear it.
Sure. It's well, you got to do you're given a set of circumstances, and you make the best of it. And that's what last year was for all of us. But we got great stuff going on this year, and it's great to see that kids are in school. We're days away from talking about high school sporting events and things, and we're going to be doing all the things that we're normally supposed to be doing in the fall here pretty soon, and that
should feel really good.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time, but there was other things discussed last night besides the whole resolution here. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other highlights that happened last night. We want to make sure the public.
I think the biggest one that I want to hit real quick is we did approve the collective bargaining agreement with REA.
Yes.
Which sets the Roswell School District really in a phenomenal spot to attract and to retain teachers. I've had several people that have seen the salary scale and said, so you're telling me if I came back? And the answer is yes, and please.
I will tell you for a fact. I'm not going to talk numbers.
Okay.
But my wife, this is her 24th year. She does have a master's degree. She has her dossier. She's at the highest levels that she can be as far as the pay scale of her. But with the pay increase, I'm pretty sure this is the biggest jump in salary she's had. I don't know if but certainly in a normal without a promotion like it's a significant increase. It's much. I'm happy too because I live there and now I got a sugar mama. Just kidding, but but no, it was a significant increase. I don't know about all levels and how it all broke out, but I know from that highest level, that's it's a good jump, a big jump compared to what it used to be.
And the numbers vary across the board.
Yeah.
The REA, NEA, along with district representatives, sat down and cleaned up the scales. There was multiple columns and multiple pages, and they looked at it and said, you know what, this would be cleaner and it would be a more user-friendly method. And the big one right now, and it was mentioned last night, was, I mean, we've said that we value our teachers, and I do feel really confident that last night we kind of put our money where the mouth, our money where our mouth is. But that is the intent. I mean, we do know that we are in major competition to retain our teachers and to attract. We've long, been in battles with other communities around here to keep them.
And let's face it, there's been communities nearby that have almost gone. You're like, wait a minute, you're going over the scale here. Well, you're cheating.
They advertise in our paper. They've had a scale that has been not just sort of
a little cutthroat.
Attractive. And you know what? And it's paid dividends for them. They've attracted teachers, and our hope right here is that you're valued here. And because you're valued, we want to give you what we can.
Absolutely.
Not sure what that'll look like for a few years down the road. I mean, as somebody that's been in the business a while, and your wife has, you do know that these come around not very often, but
exactly.
But when they do come around, hopefully you can take advantage of it. And like you said, with that working there in the scale, hopefully we can get another 8 or 9 years out of that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, my wife's going to be here for a few more. I think she'll do her 30. I think that's her goal.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think she's going to.
But that's what we're looking for,
yeah.
and hopefully we can, retain the teachers, and we know we're going to need them. I mean, we talked about the 2-year loss a second ago, and that's something we're gonna have to face.
Yeah, it's you're right. It's this is a problem. We're gonna we need qualified people, and you got to it's just like everything else in life. You get what you pay for, and to attract quality, to attract good people, you've got to make it a great incentive here. And I know between the partnerships with the city and the county and the school district, because let's face it, it takes more than a big income to attract teachers to our area. They look at the stats, they look at what's it like to live here and all that stuff. And so I know you guys have been working hand in hand with the community to be that, because let's face it, it's the hospital industry is doing the same thing as you guys have, even law enforcement. I mean, they're all trying to attract people to our area. And let's face it, in the COVID world, help wanted signs are everywhere, and it's a very competitive market right now, and for anything, not just teachers, just for everybody.
Yeah, well, and you take somebody that's in any kind of an industry or business, and they're looking to relocate to Roswell, and maybe whether it's a husband or a wife or whichever member of the spouse that is, and you look at the salary scale for the district, it can only help. It can only entice.
And I imagine with some of those, because teachers come in pairs sometimes.
Yes, sir.
A lot of husband and wife teacher combos there, and so you get so, by the way, while we're talking, if you yourself are interested in a career in education, please go to the Roswell Independent School District website. I know you guys had the job fair about a couple weeks ago here, and at that time, you guys were looking for all positions. I imagine there's still quite a few positions.
We still have positions open. We filled, ironically, that little job fair that kind of came out of a whim. We grabbed about 4 people that
qualified
applicants that jumped into that. We do still have vacancies, and we're actively pursuing that. It is on our website, the links to that. And if more questions, please don't hesitate to contact the district.
And it's every department from your food service, janitorial stuff to substitute,
everything,
grade level teachers, subject to the whole nine.
Substitute security guards, substitute custodians, cafeteria teachers, you name it.
If it's a position in the school district, odds are there's a department that has openings for it. It's the way of the world
That's
now.
right.
But and of course, don't forget. If going to the RSD website, you can watch the school board meetings. You can go back and check them out. They're archived there. They got several years worth of. They've been doing the videos for years now, so they got a couple, 2-3 years worth of videos there. Not that you're going to want to go and watch them from 3 years ago, but you could if you wanted. And of course, if you missed last night's meeting, you can go back and catch all the information. And sometimes that's good to do, especially in a meeting like that where there's a lot of people and a lot of talking. Sometimes important decisions get kind of missed in the shuffle there, and so if you missed any of that, you can go back and
it's online
there. So, is there anything, Brian, we missed we wanted to share?
No, I think that, like I said, there was a lot that happened last night, and I think you just nailed it a second ago. Is don't miss the bigger pictures, and let the process work itself through.
Sure.
And as an entity, if somebody doesn't feel like it's moving in the direction that they felt like it needed to move, there's mechanisms by which to go about it.
Absolutely.
And again, I just want to commend the public because, like I said, that didn't have to go as well as it did.
Yeah.
And I really do think that it went fairly well.
Absolutely. And I think everyone that wanted to speak got that chance to speak. Everybody, the public, the board, everybody. I think I heard everyone that wanted to chime in got the time to chime in and say their piece. And at the end of the day, that's a good thing because you put it on the record, you know what's going on, and that's why it's so important is doing. I mean, be passionate, be strong, show up, do these things, but let's not forget we all live on the same patch of dirt here. We're all on the same team. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but every single person in that room last night wants the best for your children. Every single person, you know what I mean?
I do.
And we've got, I get it. We get mad, we get passionate, and just don't let that ruin the progress you're trying to make. You don't let the emotion ruin the good work you're doing. Keep your nose on the grindstone there and professionalism, and it'll get you a long way. Trust me.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything we missed?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Well, I'm sure you got about 20 different fires to put out here, so we'll let you go do that.
Awesome.
And we're gonna Brian, superintendent, he's going to join us every Wednesday after school board meetings. Obviously, we'll adjust if the school board meeting isn't on a Tuesday night and it gets moved or something. But that's the plan going.
That's the plan.
Here.
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
And of course, anytime we need you need on to just and it doesn't kind of fall in those schedules, but we got events or certain things, please.
You bet. Absolutely.
Send me over.
And thank you. And thank you for the support of the station and also, just.
Well, we love our partnership with the RASD.
Y'all done a great job.
I know we were glad to help as much as we could. I know it wasn't a perfect world, but start videoing as much of the sports and things and doing all. And
y'all were lifesavers last year when it came to that.
And we're going to be streaming a lot this year. But I can tell you this right now. I know. Since you guys can go to games and things outdoors, we're not going to be able to stream a lot of the middle school games and things that we were doing. We don't have the resources or bodies to do that. But you can go to those games now. So please go and support. I don't care what you said. The kids, they love watching the videos, and you're watching their videos, that they want you in the stands. Yep. They want you cheering for them right there. I can yell all I want in my living room. They don't hear it, so it doesn't help.
Well, activity tickets will go on sale soon. I mean, again, that return to what normal looks like. That's our plan.
Yeah, and then get your face paint and your pom-poms ready and start rooting on our respective schools.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. As always, appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Good to see you're still in peace here after a couple months here, holding up. Poor guy, he got hired for the job, got thrown right into the fire here, huh?
It's all good.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, 8:52, quick news update and break before, more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Our top story today, the Artesia School Board did not vote Monday on whether or not to go against the Public Education Department's mask mandates. The board did, however, unanimously approve a resolution encouraging the state PED to allow more local control over school district policies. The resolution vote took place prior to public comment from over 24 residents who strongly encouraged the board to take a vote to make the mask mandate optional in the Artesia School District. The board in executive session met with an attorney representing the Gallup and McKinley County schools and that district's current lawsuit against the PED over local control. 18 districts and 1 private school have already joined the Gallup district's lawsuit, according to Superintendent John Ross Null. The Artesia School Board did not take any action regarding the lawsuit at Monday's meeting, following a 90-minute executive session. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure should be forming over eastern New Mexico today, and we could get some afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. We're looking at mid-90s for the afternoon high. Maybe some showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight and down to 70. For tomorrow, we'll start off fair, partly sunny, our high in the low to mid-90s, and more afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. Nissan says its huge factory in Smyrna, Tennessee will close for 2 weeks starting Monday due to computer chip shortages brought on by the coronavirus outbreak in Malaysia. The shutdown is among the longest at any U.S. auto plant of this size since the semiconductor shortage. Tennessee State University is clearing the account balances of students returning to study this fall. The university president said paying off those account balances for students will relieve some of the financial stress that they have and allow them to focus on studying and completing their degrees. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 162 points, closing at 35,264. The Nasdaq lost 72 to 14,788, and the S&P 500 up 4 to 4,436. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Celebrate heroes during Roswell Ford's first annual 9/11 Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 11th from 10 to noon at Roswell Ford. Register now at roswellford.com to enter in the car show. Entry is $20 with all proceeds going to benefit local charities. You must have your vehicle set up at Roswell Ford by 8 a.m. on September 11th with your vehicle on display until 1 p.m. Trophies awarded for first, second, and third place in each category, plus the People's Choice Award. Deadline to enter is September 6th. Do you know someone who makes a difference at home, at work or school, or in the community? Nominate them for the first ever Hometown Hero Award. Complete and submit your nomination form at roswellford.com. You can nominate anyone to be a hometown hero. One Roswell Ford hometown hero will be selected and honored during the event. Register now for the first annual Roswell Ford Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September the 11th. This event sponsored by LGS Guns and Ammo, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, CRM Discount Awards and Sports, and National Furniture Liquidators.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell. Platinum Auto Services specializes in complete automotive care. It's the shop that does it all. From auto diagnostics and repair to dress up, rig up, and clean up, Platinum Auto Services has you covered. Platinum accepts all fleet management accounts and offers free pickup and delivery. Oil changes, tires, alignments, suspension, lift kits, and easy approval financing available for those unexpected repairs. Give us a call. The shop that does it all. Platinum Auto Services, 575-689-6900.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2021.
Prescott in the gun. They blitz.
Only heard here.
Deep ball by Prescott. Man all alone at the goal line. CeeDee Lamb.
All season.
43 yards, a touchdown, and a touchdown dance. Friday night, it's your Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. Live from State Farm Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 7, kickoff at 8 on 92.9 The Brand. Brought to you in part by Big O Tire.
Wreck 'em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:59. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. Elliot Rodriguez with CMG Financial is going to pop in for our monthly visits. Elliot and I talk sound financial advice when it comes to getting you in a home. He's the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the real estate agent. He's not the one who's going to, go and help you pick the home. He's the guy that helps you afford the home. He's the financial guy. So we'll talk with Elliot from CMG Financial here in about 15 minutes or so. Big thank you to Mr. Brian Luck, Superintendent, for joining us here. Very appreciative. And that was a great conversation. I know, like my opinions and things, I know people don't agree. I get it. I understand everything they're saying, but got to remember the end game sometimes. I'm always that guy. I'm like, well, what's the end game here? And if it doesn't jive with what I want, then I can't support that. So anyway, all right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The government's latest inflation report confirms what many Americans already knew. Just about everything is costing more these days. Consumer prices up 0.5% last month from June. Prices have risen 5.4% over the past 12 months. Congress pushing ahead with infrastructure after the Senate approves a bipartisan bill.
With the Senate having passed the bipartisan $1 trillion infrastructure plan, work now focuses on the broader $3.5 trillion package that's likely to get votes only from Democrats. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We want to cut taxes for American families. We want to create millions of jobs while tackling the climate crisis. And we want to pay for it by making corporations and the wealthy finally pay their fair share.
But Republican Senator Lindsey Graham warns of sticker shock.
This will cost well over $4 trillion if fully implemented.
Mike Gracia, Washington.
The Taliban has seized 3 more provincial capitals in Afghanistan, putting 9 of the nation's 34 in the insurgents' hands amid the ongoing U.S. troop withdrawal from the country.
The fall of the capitals of Badakhshan and Baghlan provinces to the northeast and Farah province to the west put increasing pressure on the country's central government to stem the tide of the advance. While Kabul itself has not been directly threatened in the advance, the Taliban offensive continues to stretch Afghan security forces, now largely fighting against insurgents on their own.
That's correspondent Zaria Shackley. New Yorkers will hear from their next governor today. Lieutenant Governor, soon-to-be Governor Kathy Hochul, planning a news conference at the state capitol. Wall Street stocks are mixed this hour. Right now, the Dow is up about 196 points, the NASDAQ down 41, the S&P 7 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're attacked by a bear, a dog will throw himself into the mouth of the bear to save you. Dogs are dogs. They pour out their love onto you. Before long, you can't live without them. I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur. He's about 120 pounds, and his name is Arlo. My little cocker, her coat's as soft as a stuffed animal. They're both real soft coats, and my dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
We'll be scooping our Dynavite onto the food, then squirting the liquor chops and the fish oil. They start salivating.
Dynavite is nutrition.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be. It's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. I get my Dynavite at DINOVITE.com.
More than 100 wildfires in Algeria, blamed for at least 42 deaths.
The worst of Algeria's many fires have been in the forest-clad mountains of the Kabylie region. This is where the soldiers were killed. The Tizi Ouzou area has been hardest hit. Homes have been burned down and some residents have been forced to find shelter in nearby towns. Algeria is enduring an intense heat wave at a time of year when the region is prone to wildfires. But senior officials have said they believe arsonists are responsible for the outbreak of the large number of separate fires over the past few days.
That's a BBC's Alan Johnston. Heavy rains triggering severe floods and mudslides in northern Turkey, leaving one woman missing, others injured, and cars swept away by torrents of rain and mud. News and analysis at townhall.com. In the face of those Taliban advances, President Biden defending his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan.
The president says he's not second-guessing his drawdown decision.
We spent over $1 trillion, over 20 years.
He says the U.S. accomplished its objectives in Afghanistan, and he's urging Afghan leaders to step up as Taliban forces take over provincial capitals.
They've got to fight for themselves, fight for their nation.
America's military mission in Afghanistan is scheduled to end by August 31st. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Chinese court has sentenced Canadian entrepreneur Michael Spavor to prison for 11 years. The spy case linked to Beijing's pressure campaign against the Canadian government over the arrest of a Chinese tech executive with the firm Huawei. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is up 191 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. It on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Get this, man. Trace Inviernos.
That was a little wrestling.
7-minute ads.
Yeah, it was a little. That was
promo style.
Promo style, but yeah, it was a little wrestling. I think it was the shaking of the hands. That's the
right, brother.
There'll come a time. Stop the shake. When I'm going to be at your side.
That was a real big thing with the Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man was.
Man, a few words. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What he said. That meaning.
How can you not? That's the one man on the planet that when you mention his name, there is not a single person in the room that doesn't go, oh yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just, you cannot not do it.
Right. Or, snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah. I mean, it may be a different word, but it's going to be that, oh yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. They will always be worked in. One of my favorite comics, Dan Soder. He's an impression comic. I mean, he does regular stand-up, but he's really, really good at impressions, and he does the best Macho Man I've ever heard in my entire life. I think he was actually featured on the biography
he
special.
does ring a bell when you say that. Yeah, he was on the
biography
A&E one.
Yeah, because they did a bunch of like a montage of a bunch of people doing their Macho Man impressions.
Yeah, and I think
he did his, and it's just so fun. I mean, his is so good, but it's just funny because the way that he plays it, it's like, and I know he did sort of talk like this in his regular life, but it's like just to imagine him just doing day-to-day things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna check the mail, making me a pancake, ooh yeah,
gotta get a car wash.
See, now we're dipping a toe into a Hetfield.
Yeah, there was a bit of a ooh yeah, there was a little Hetfield there, but yeah, it would be like. So I was making it.
And see, now we're getting into the whole like opener comic thing. What would happen?
Yeah.
James Hetfield from Metallica and Randy Savage had a baby. I might sound a little something like this.
Right.
Yeah, doing openers like open mics. I saw so many of those just cringy comics, or the ones that like had to have a bit like I'm a comic, but I'm also a hypnotist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they were like roommates. If James Hetfield...
Right. What would that be like?
Yeah, you want a pastrami sandwich? Yeah.
Yeah. Make me a sandwich.
There you go. So we hacky comicked it for you.
We did it.
No need.
We built the scenario for you. See, we do so you don't have to.
Although, if there was a reality show where James Hetfield and Macho Man just lived in a house, it's impossible to do now.
Right.
But I would watch that show.
Macho Metal. Coming this fall to Lifetime. What happens?
Machoica? No, what would you have to... I'd have to...
Metallicho? Metallichode?
Metallica Man? I mean, it doesn't...
Metallica Man. No.
I don't know. You'd have to...
Savage Metal.
Savage Metal.
There you go.
That's not bad.
Savage Metal. Coming this fall to Lifetime. I always think of that like it was the trailer voice from South Park. Mm-hmm. What happens when it was like Rob Schneider is the copier?
Yeah.
What happens when a man gets turned into a copy machine? Rob Schneider is the copier. We need to get more Foley in here.
Yeah.
I'm just stuck with the hey, I'm here, come check me in, Bell.
He's kind of fallen off the face of the earth recently.
Who's that? Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Apparently, he's like gone hardcore off into the
political world.
Yeah,
I know he's conservative.
He's all went right winger or like a hardcore, like the banana pantser ones,
Yeah, but what does that got to do with acting?
He's a he's known
unless they do Grown Ups 3. I don't know.
No. When they do Grown Ups 3, it will happen. I don't want it to happen. It will happen.
They got to check Shaq's schedule because he's probably the busiest of the bunch.
Right?
If you look at all those people in that movie, who's the most busiest guy in that movie? Shaq.
Do you remember that the big like cameo in Grown Ups 2 was Taylor Lautner?
Yeah.
Like we all thought he was going to be something hot. Mm-hmm. We hitched our wagons to the wrong star on that one.
Told you all, people, those Twilight movies weren't that good.
We could have had the Batman, but no. Y'all went with the Wolfman instead. Shame that.
It's still messed up. I've never watched those Twilight movies. I've seen bits and pieces, but I never actually sat down and watched one. But every time I see those actors from that genre, that age, because they're all, what are they, in their 30s now? Low.
Probably early. Yeah. I would say probably, early 30s.
Yeah. All I see when I see them is them as their Twilight people. Like the other guy that's a big deal in those.
Yeah.
Who's more of the vampire-y
Yeah,
ones.
that's what I'm talking about.
Edward, I don't know his name.
Cullen. The guy who played Edward Cullen.
He looks like a pasty kid and
he's
mysterious
be
kid in every...
He's the new Batman that they're going to be rolling out here soon.
That's not a Batman I would approve.
From what I've heard, he went ahead and got bat ripped.
He's like a pasty emo kid and everything.
I agree.
That's what he looks like.
I agree. He looks like he fits in an art house movie.
Or a vampire.
Or a vampire. Absolutely. Somebody who probably doesn't step out in the sun a whole lot. But
maybe he's vampire Batman.
Maybe. Vampire Batman. It's a vampire Batman.
Thinking. Could be.
I like it. But yeah, no, it's I feel like he's the one who kind of got the fame off that one. He got the shine. And they went with Taylor Lautner. No, they'll definitely make a Grown Ups 3. I guarantee it. Sandler still got like 2 more picks left at his off his like 5-picture Netflix deal, so it'll happen.
Yeah.
I keep having people tell me that I need to go back and watch Hubie Halloween. Everybody says it's like really good.
That's what I hear. I watched 10 minutes of it and I did not enjoy it.
Right. I don't know if I wanna. Like I don't know if I want to believe that.
But and I'll pull back the curtain. I am not as critical of Adam Sandler as others are. I enjoy a good Adam Sandler movie.
I'm way more critical of Adam Sandler in a Spanglish than I am of Adam Sandler.
I don't like those choices. Yeah, right. Spanglish, that really disturbing one with the he's like a comic dying of cancer.
Oh yeah, no, that was I think it's just called Stand Up. No, comic. The comedian.
Yeah, that one and that one I was like. Because that one had like all comedic cast. Yeah, that was a comedic cast with Apatow, and I was going into this movie thinking it was going to be a fun time, and it was not.
You gave us 40-Year-Old Virgin. You can't just M. Night Shyamalan on us like that.
Yeah, I was not pleased with that. Play your hits, man.
Now
I ain't looking for Adam Sandler to give me a riveting mafia performance. I want him to be yucks and cut up.
That having been said, I know what they were doing with that movie.
Yeah,
and that is when you're sad. All of a sudden, if funny starts happening again, it's so much more funny. A laugh after sadness is so much more cathartic, just a regular laugh. So I feel like I know exactly where he was going. He was trying for the real heart laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. Like it would mean more if you laugh after crying.
Yeah. I don't like it.
It's kind of like how if you ever watched like an episode of Scrubs, Bill Lawrence was real good at this. He'll put a show on where, you're laughing, all of a sudden boom, switch. The Brendan Fraser episode comes to mind, and you're just like devastated. It's like a gut punch, and then something funny happens at the end. You're like, and that is the funniest thing on the planet. Because at that point, you're just looking for any lifeboat.
Yeah.
Out of the sadness.
I understand the tactics. I'm not a fan. I'm not.
Sure, it feels a little cutthroat.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
I mean, if you're funny, you're funny. You don't need to manipulate your crowd to make your others appear more funny.
True.
That's what I think. But
saying it's effective.
Yeah, you're right. And guess what? He's made a whole lot more money doing Scrubs than me doing my thing. So what do I know? But
That's true.
as a consumer, I just no. I want my Adam Sandler's. I want him to be Billy Madison going and doing his little thing, and then an hour and a half later, I'm like, that was funny and stupid, but I enjoyed it. I don't want Adam Sandler coming to get all deep on me. I don't want his feelings. I want him to just be funny. That's why he gets paid the big
I don't need to feel Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
See, and that
Vince Vaughn's another one. I loved Vince Vaughn movies. I loved all those stupid movies with him and Owen Wilson. Not Owen Hart. Owen Wilson. That'd be a movie. That'd be a wild movie. All those idiots. I love those movies.
Right.
I don't want to see Vince Vaughn being serious. I thought, oh, this is a serious piece. Shut up.
It's a hard
Catch
sell.
your paycheck with your $1 million and just
I will say that's why I respected the second portion of the Vince Vaughn turn, because this current like preachy portion, whatever, but that portion where he was, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start a stand up special, and then I'm gonna take it around the country. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it around the country. I'm gonna take it on tour. I'm gonna take all my favorite comics. We're gonna go on tour. Yeah, that part of him was fantastic. Yeah, when he did the Wild West Roundup thing or whatever it was.
That was fun. I mean, I get it. You're an adult and you want to do adult things. Fine. But do that with your free time. Don't do it with the pays the bills. Here,
right.
You know?
A lot of people are saying that COVID was like a lot of like silly people in Hollywood's puberty basically is like, well, I guess we have to grow up now.
No,
everything's getting serious.
Now we need you more than ever. I need a drill bit Taylor. I don't need
Wow, I haven't thought about that one in years.
I need a drill bit Taylor. I don't need something.
Whatever happened to those kids? Those three little rabble rousers.
They're probably 45 now.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. They're all like in their 30s now, and
yeah.
Well, no, because I was a young adult when that movie came out. So because I was like what, mid 2000s?
Yeah, so probably in their
so I was like in mid 20s.
They're probably
so they're
40s.
No, dude, I'm only 37.
Right, but you were a teenager.
Right? No, I was in my 20s.
20s.
Yeah, so those kids were probably in their. I'm going to say in their teens. At
50s.
You're going the wrong way. It's a good thing we've got a numbers guy here to help us sort things out, because his math's all wrong.
Those kids are 137 years old.
137. That's what it is. There it is. Cut and print.
All right. Maybe they're not that old, but shoot, Owen Wilson's like what, 50?
Yeah, I gotta say
he's probably his early 50s.
I gotta say early 50s.
52, 53.
Yeah.
So those kids are probably in their 20s.
Man, that nose is gonna start wrinkling. Owen Wilson nose.
I don't get that. Like, why do people find him attractive?
I don't.
He's not. Maybe not you. But
okay.
Like, he's kind of that little heartthrobby thingy going on there.
Because he's charmingly befuddled. That's what it is, you know?
Yeah, but so am I. I ain't got people swooning over me.
Yeah, well, you're married.
I'm charmingly befuddled, too.
I guess you're married. So.
All right, we got Roy chiming in. Huh?
He's Hansel from Zoolander.
Yeah, I know that, but...
Now we're just all squatting over mics.
Yeah, but... What about, what's his name?
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller. He was the main Zoolander
That's
guy.
true.
He was Zoolander.
Yeah, he didn't lean as much into it, though. Of course, neither did Owen.
He had the look.
He did. Blue Steel.
Blue Steel. That's right. All right. I think we've done
exhausted it. Yeah,
we've milked this thing. It's 9:18. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure should be forming over eastern New Mexico today, and we could get some afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. We're looking at mid-90s for the afternoon high. Maybe some showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and down to 70. For tomorrow, we'll start off fair, partly sunny, our high in the low to mid-90s, and more afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Exactly. Yeah. Currently 79 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52%. Winds are out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Rain. We got a chance, like every day, till like next week. 30% chance of rain for this afternoon, partly cloudy, high of 94 today. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. 40% chance at showers tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 71. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain pretty much all day, looks like. Partly cloudy with a high of 91 tomorrow, south winds 5 to 15. Thursday night, a 50% chance of rain. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, winds out of the south 5 to 10, overnight low of 69. And then Friday, a 60% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high of 85. So at least it's getting cooler. And then for the weekend, 50% chance of rain Saturday, partly cloudy and 83. 40% chance of rain Sunday, partly cloudy and 86. All right, 9:20. Before we take a quick break, do want to invite you out to Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. They are now your full-line Tacticam dealer. That's right, the same Tacticams that you see on hunting shows all over the world. They've got them right here at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Also, new shipment of knives come in, Benchmade and case knives. They've got them in stock right now. Also, they're selling, they're buying guns. Not only are they selling them, but they're buying them. They're making offers, cash on hand. You walk in, they'll offer you a cash. You walk in with that, selling the gun, you walk out the door with that cold, hard cash. And, of course, if you're a coffee drinker, don't forget Zia Guns USA here in Roswell carries the full line of Black Rifle coffee, the whole line available for you right now. And Dr. Squatch, you may have seen their soap products and things online for men. They recently released a Star Wars line of soap products. I saw that the other day on Facebook. But you don't have to imagine what it smells like. You can go get it at Zia Guns. Zia Guns USA here in Roswell is your only authorized Dr. Squatch retail in the region. So swing on by and, of course, get your man smelling good. And so don't forget, come on by. Shop locally owned Zia Guns USA here in Roswell, 1907 North Main. The only gun store to be opened on Sundays, but they are closed on Saturdays because they spend Saturdays with family, and you should too. Stop on by. Zia Guns USA, 1907 North Main, right here in Roswell. All right, 9:21. We got a quick 3.5-minute commercial break, and then Elliot Rodriguez will join us from CMG Financial talking about money and whatnot. Don't go away.
College football is back on the High Plains. You don't want to miss out on your Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds' return to the gridiron as they welcome 6 home opponents this fall. The home schedule features the Wagon Wheel rivalry game versus West Texas A&M, our annual homecoming game, and the home opener on September 2nd versus Central Washington. Season tickets are now available for as low as $25 per person. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. ENMU Greyhound football all in.
Imagine pool water that is extremely soft and gentle on hair, skin, and eyes. Soft Swim is a chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard. Simple and easy, Soft Swim will give you a crystal clear pool that feels luxuriously soft. Your pool might just become the destination of the entire neighborhood. Application is a breeze, no mixing, no pre-dissolving, and routine maintenance is simple. Come to Mays Lumber Company today, the only dealer for Soft Swim by BioGuard.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 622-4455. Soak up the sun and the savings during the Summer of Fun Savings event at Roswell Nissan. Saturday, August 14th from 10 to 1. Roswell Nissan is pulling out all the stops for a little family fun. They'll have games, jolly jumps, bull riding, face painting, a coloring contest, and lots of free food and drinks. Register to win some awesome prizes like a selfie ring light, karaoke machine, a hoverboard, and even a smart TV. Plus vehicles as low as $99 a month. The Summer of Fun Savings event. Saturday, August 14th, 10 to 1 at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wreck 'em. He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is, sure is, 25 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from CMG Financial, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Morning. So how you doing today?
Doing good. Good morning, Roswell.
Keeping busy?
Yeah.
Well,
that's an understatement still.
Well, the real estate market's still smoking hot right now, isn't it? It's just, thing I'm seeing going up, it's selling like days, weeks later.
It's not slowing. It's not slowing down.
Yeah.
The market is, I don't know what's going to happen because it can't just keep rising forever either.
Yeah. There's got to be a burst of a bubble at some point.
If you pay attention for the past month, it seems to be that it kind of slowed just a tip, but it's staying steady. Not like slowed down and now you're seeing houses being sold for less.
It's kind of plateaued, maybe?
It's kind of plateaued for just a moment. We'll see for the next month or so if the prices keep going up or not. But, oh, my God, dude. I was like, I was looking at the house that I sold 4 years ago, and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I should not ever move to it. I should have just sold it now.
Well, it's funny you said that. I was I had a house for about 10 years, and I think it's changed owners a couple times since I've sold it. But I saw it up on the market again, and they've redone the house. They painted it. They redid the kitchen and everything.
Okay.
And that house, they're asking about $100,000 more than what I sold it for about 6-7 years ago.
It's totally nonsense, isn't it?
Crazy.
Well, I was telling my wife, I was like, babe, we should have just painted the fireplace white and sold it for this much more.
Yeah.
But I don't even know why people paint the fireplaces white. If it doesn't go with the house, don't do that.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
But
a
it's
good
funny
idea.
because literally that's the only thing that is different from the house. And it's like, my goodness. I make the joke to her, it's like, we should have just won and spent a bunch of money on white paint and painted that. No, but it's just the market change and the time and everything. But it's
supply and demand. That's what it's all about.
It's interesting to say the least, you know. So, and the other day the market went up. And then it went down, and it went up. So waiting to see what's going to happen for this week or next week and see what happens.
Sure.
But,
so, and I know supply and demand and everything, that all affects everything. But like when the supply and demand changes, because at some point it will, the market will shift, and it'll be a seller's market versus a buyer's market and things like that. Will that affect the property values so much, or do you think these prices, like, are they inflated for the reason right now, or do you think they'll start they'll kind of plateau here for a bit, or? Because rarely do real estate prices go down, but they've creeped up quick here in a short amount of time. Well, are they going to sustain? I guess
to the whole United States, if you think about it. We are hearing records, price sellings. That is happening. It depends, what the Feds continue doing.
Right.
That's gonna. The market. You've been listening. The recoup of the whole United States feels very slow. Okay, guy in the White House is not doing it the same as the other guy.
Still a lot of uncertainty out there on where
everybody's a little worried, and now everybody's talking about more coronavirus. issues.
More closings, lockdowns,
and so
mandates, whatever.
That's gonna affect everything if you think about it.
Sure.
So that's the part that's difficult for the feds because now the feds gonna have do we have to go and buy more bonds out, or what's going to happen? Because now the bubble has kind of inflated so much if you think about it, and that's the question that I've been saying for the past month or so. It's like can't just keep raising and raising and raising forever. It's impossible. And
at some point it's got to plateau or burst or something.
One or the other. The cool part about it is that there may not be enough houses, but there's still houses coming in.
Yeah,
and I always say that you can't stop the green machine.
Well, I would imagine
it's going to continue because people are going to fix the house and sell it.
Sure. And supply and demand, if the demand's always higher than supply, that's going to spawn more growth, more house building,
and that's just the reality.
And that's what I mean. We live in a unique little world here in Southeast New Mexico in terms of real estate.
You're lying about that.
I mean, it's very interesting. Like you could buy a house here in Roswell, and I'll just use $100,000 because that's a nice round figure. You buy a house in Roswell, you pay $100,000 for it. You go 30 miles south, and you could tack on another $30,000, $40,000 to that house price.
Well, I mean, even here in town, you could be on the west side of town and go to the east side of town. Now it depends where you're at, north to south or mid-range into the town. The numbers change drastically.
Yeah,
which is very crazy.
Yeah,
okay?
Location.
You used to say that a lot before, and they ain't kidding about that.
Yeah.
One thing that you have to think that is very interesting is kind of about balancing out somewhat, because now you can still go somewhat to the middle of town, and even some places down south, depending on the area, that they're still getting good prices for the homes still, especially if they're fixing, upgrading and so on. And they're still building houses. You're going to have to put houses somewhere.
Right.
Okay? And as you can see, they're still building everywhere, even south of town and stuff
Sure.
like that. So depends how much more goes to different areas.
Sure.
And who is spending the money to it and how big they're going to be.
Sure.
That's going to determine. My wife and I were like, because she's still on the hunting phase about it. Like, yeah, maybe we'll get another house. Like, but we just sold one 4 years ago. But I think she just wants to get something that is a little different.
Sure.
Different neighborhood.
Yeah.
And a little better, but that we don't have to do anything because we always have fixed homes.
You're like, I want a house that's ready to move in the
me.
neighborhood that's more to what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's coming to the realization that maybe there's not the house that she wants that she's going to be able to find, and we've been talking about that a lot. It's like, so just continue fixing the extra few things that we have here, and we just wait it out until the right place come available, but no, it's coming. The market is going in and out, in and out, in and out. And I always tell my buyers, that, hey, don't worry about that. Okay. Don't make the hasty decision and buy the wrong house because you think you're not going to get another house.
There'll always be more
There's
houses.
going to always be more houses, know. And CMG, we're strong, so I love our company. That they just steady and
and this is something we've said we've said this pretty much every time we talk on the radio here, but CMG Financial is the best of both worlds. You've got the large, huge company that is private company that is CMG Financial.
Correct.
So with that, they've got the muscle to move the mountains and things that need to happen sometimes.
Correct.
But because all of their agents and things are local level folks that are right here in the community and everything else, so Elliot's independent enough where he's like a local guy here and do his thing. But when he needs the big guys to come move the muscle, he's got the CMG backing to do that. So it's the best of both worlds. You've got the power and conveniences of having a big lender work for you. But at the same time, you get the personalized stuff that you miss when you have a big lender, like the gauntlet of phone calls, the personal service. How many times can you call your big national lender here and call and have a conversation with a live person talking about your particular case without going through a computer gauntlet of stuff, and then the person on the other end has to read your history on a computer before they understand your situation.
Plus, and like we spoke before, the problem is that you don't have a true interview when you do an application on some of those places that you go online.
Yeah.
Nothing that is wrong with that. I get it. Okay. And some people are more, technically, savvy than others.
Yeah, if you're that person where you kind of know
you
your
may
own
be
thing.
able to do okay. The problem is this: there's a lot of missed things that when you go and do an application, I tell people, do an application real quick for me, because a lot of people still want to go to the face-to-face. I don't have no problem with that, because that's what we want anyway. And that way we can truly, truly find out.
Sure.
But even on the phone and a true conversation, because I'm still eventually going to meet you face-to-face, it's okay to do an application so I can get kind of moving faster. You know, it's not the same thing to sit down and expect me to do the application right there and give you an answer right there.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I didn't have no time in the world to do nothing else. But
it's not like your desk and you open up. Here's a file with all you fill that out, and then he's got a stamp that says approved right after. He just spits it right up there.
The scenarios are so much different for every single individual.
That works in Looney Tunes.
That's why I love my job. I mean, not every deal is the same. You know,
absolutely,
and I love it. And my PA, you know, Alejandra, and my processor, you know, Cynthia, she's always like, you know, when there's an issue, it's like, all right, let me send it back to you so you could do your magic. It's like, what do you mean magic? You know, like, they're like, you guys putting way too much faith in me. But I love that because they know that if there's something that the individual don't fit right, that I'm gonna find a way to, you know, figure it out.
It's a puzzle,
you know, and it's so crazy.
It's like if I move a number here and move it, that now the planets align. You know, it's just one of those things. Yeah.
And it's been interesting to say the least lately for some of the stuff that I've been coming across. Like, oh my God! But like I always say, if the borrowers follow my instructions, follow my lead, okay, I'm not telling you to do anything wrong, break the law, nothing like that. We don't do that here in CMG.
You're establishing a plan for them, basically.
Exactly. If you're thinking, let's go to CMG, they'll bend all the rules and do everything. Sorry.
I know a guy.
Maybe you could go next door.
Hey, this house fell off the truck just the other day. Well, you know.
You know, we don't do that kind of stuff here. But if you will listen to what I had to say and follow my lead, it may take you a month, it may take you 2 or 3 months, it may take you 6 months the most, maybe a year. Worst case scenario. Okay. Be surprised how fast you can actually buy a house. And
absolutely.
I really believe everybody should have a house. If you can afford, you know,
it's the American dream.
If you're renting, or if your in-laws are already tired of you and they need to kick you out of the house,
you have to live somewhere. Might as well live somewhere that you're investing in yourself, as opposed to paying someone else's investment.
I 100% believe that's everybody's
because that is the one thing on the planet. Nothing else on the planet works like a house. A house is that one thing that you live and need and have to survive, but it truly is an investment. That is the one thing that you own, that you live and need and have, that can truly increase in value. No other product does that. And I don't care, like car collectors, no, because 99% of cars go down in value. And not everyone drives the rare Cadillac or Corvette that goes up in value. It's the house is that one thing that you live, use, and breathe every day, but at the same time, you're actually investing in yourself with it. It's not like mutual funds or anything else where you're put money in there and kind of forgetting about it till it's time to retire and keep adding. This is different. This is a different type of thing. You're constantly, and every little thing you do to that house can impact it positively and negatively. Sure, you can paint the whole house pink or do something, but good luck trying to sell that sucker. That's like, I don't want to live in that thing. But at the same time, you're like, ooh, I bought a house. Oh, I'm going to change the carpet, or I'm going to, update the kitchen. Next thing you know, all that the couple $1,000s you put in to fix that, you're now going to get that. You're going to see that back in your investment, because as soon as you sell the house, now you can ask another $10,000 on the sticker price because you got a brand new kitchen in there, and that's what we're talking about. And odds are pretty good that if you buy a house, live in it for 5-10 years, when you're done, that house will be worth more than when you bought it.
And that is a fact. I mean, let me tell you something. I've been doing real estate for myself for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been in financing for a little over 12 plus. Okay. I have to actually go and check out how long, but 12 plus. Sometimes I consider myself, a baby, in the group in some ways. But I'm amazed sometimes some of the old guys that have been there forever, like what's happening, because that doesn't make no sense. Okay. Why would you do that? You would think you have more knowledge or more wisdom than I do.
Sure.
Okay. But maybe because in the past 25 years, I have bought and sold. Okay.
Sure.
So I've been in both sides of the, of the quarter.
You've done other facets of this of the transaction. So
and then I do business. I was the business banker for West Fargo. Was here 7 years for West Fargo, 5 years of business.
So you kind of got experience on that corporate side we're talking about, where and let's face it, Everyone's
you need that.
Everybody's seen the Wells Fargo documentaries and stuff on TV. You see the kind of games and things that are happening in major companies like that. You've seen, been there, done that, got that
Correct,
T-shirt.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is like I done the run, for a while, and I done a little of everything. I went down the creek, I went up the hill, I done a little everything.
Without the paddles, with the paddles, all of it.
You name it. I've been there. I mean, for the folks that are listening, if you think having bad credit is impossible to you ever buy a house, don't even think that.
No.
I've been there, okay? When I was younger, my credit went to where it was supposed to go, but I was able to fix it. And there's another thing.
All you need is the plan.
Yeah, all you need somebody to guide you to get to where you need to. And trust me, I love doing that because, it's very interesting, and I love helping people buy a home. And a lot of people, but you make money. It's like, no, it's not about all the money, okay? Because I can definitely go and flip. I flip burgers at McDonald's if I wanted to.
Yeah, but he likes to eat. He likes to live in a house, and this is his
just
job.
Like everybody
this
else,
is what he does.
But the thing is this: I love helping people get into their places because, like my wife and I were talking about, I think it was last night. Yeah, I think it was last night, and she was talking about when she bought her first home. Which is the home that we live on right now.
Yeah,
kind of interesting. That
full circle moment.
Full circle back. And she was telling me how excited the moment was for her. And every time that we have bought a house, done a few of those things throughout the time that we have been together. And when she sees me helping people buying houses, she's like, it's amazing.
Sure.
But she enjoys it just the same.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the customers, but she knows some of the houses.
The thrill of knowing, because you know that experience. There is nothing like that experience when that day when you've closed on your house and the real estate agent's handing you the key and saying, "Welcome to your new home.
This is yours.
This is yours." And I know you've been thinking about it and talking about it, but when that day actually comes and they put it in your hands, you're like, yeah, you want to walk in there and roll around on the floor? God bless you. It's yours now. Do it. It's a different feeling, especially the first time ever you've been living with your parents or renting from somebody, or whatever your case was. You were always investing in someone else's stake, and now you're like, you know what? Now you're in the game. You have a piece of the pie, the American dream of which we talk about.
And that's huge.
You have a house, and if you pay your bills on time, no one can take that away from you.
Nobody.
That's yours.
And that's the part that is so amazing. Okay, we live in such a great country that we can do that. Even with all the COVID-19 and all the nonsense that's going on, we're still in the greatest place in Earth. I mean, listen, go and check out the news and what's happening overseas and other places. You'll be like, oh yes, I love America. If you truly look at all those things, you'll be like, oh, I'm not in a bad place, because some places are way worse.
Yeah, it's all about perspective.
And this is the part that is so amazing. When I was selling one of my properties just recently that I sold in the beginning of the year, I had an individual that actually listened to me. Okay, and I love this. This thing happens constantly all the time, and it's an amazing experience that I can actually help somebody buy a house. I mean, I'm part of your family for the next 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we're doing real quick in a couple 20 days or so, and it happens, and if the customer does everything and give me everything that I need, and the agents does their part, we can get any deal super fast too as well. Okay. CMG is all out. I have such an awesome company, such an awesome team.
So it's time to pick up the pace. The pace can be picked up.
The pace, they pick it up, and it's so awesome. Like I told Ted all the time, I'm not trying to rush any deal, but if I need to rush, I need to get this done, and we get it done.
Sure.
And
let's face it, your clients, they want it done quick, because
sometimes they do. Yes.
There's nothing harder than you're waiting, and you're like, oh, I can't wait till we move in that house.
I tell some of my customers, listen, because I bugged the heck out of you for the first week or two, and now I'm not talking to you for at least 3 or 4 days, and I just sending you a few messages. Everything is good. It's all right. Relax. If I'm not telling you anything, it's good news.
Yeah, no news is good news, right? Yeah.
But they get a little like, oh my God.
Sure, you're excited, anticipation,
so
nervous.
And I love it. Yeah. And I remember telling this guy in Artesia, all right, listen, do this, and we'll get that credit score where it needs to be so we can get you a house.
Sure.
Just follow my lead. And he did. And then when I put my house in the market, he was interested in mine. And the funniest thing is, another fellow wanted to sell his, and I got introduced to them. And I actually parted them up together.
Oh, nice.
I really did. It's funny because he was in Artesia. He was going to come over here and was going to drive back and forth. And I was, in a way, people understand it's not always about the money.
Sure.
It's about taking care of people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the experience.
You know, the Bible says you reap what you sow.
Absolutely.
Okay? And the funniest thing, and this is why the punchline on this is so interesting and so cool. So the guy that wanted to come and see my house, and I got in touch with the other guy that had a house in Artesia, okay, they actually knew each other.
Small world.
Small world, okay. And he ended up buying his house, and the guy in Artesia is actually living here. The funniest thing that is so amazing, I still sold my house to somebody else, okay? So, you know, try not to have no conflict of interest. If you may,
exactly.
You know, and at the same time, I got him talking, and he like, well, I'm here and this and that. So same kind of situation that the other guy, I got him to buy, he bought his house, his credit went up, we fixed a few things. I tell him do this, just the same as I told the other guy.
Yeah.
I'm under contract right now as we speak, and he's buying a house here now. And,
awesome.
And, I mean, it's a full circle.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I love. And CMG gives me the tools to take care of all these people. And this is what I love to do.
And here's the thing, the tools you're giving them through these plans, these are the tools you need that will go beyond this. So you're not back in those situations. It's you know, your household finances, unfortunately, it's like diet and exercise. You got to eat healthy, you got to exercise to stay healthy and fit. If your finances aren't much different, you got to be on top of it. You got to pay your bills. You got to make sure you come up with a plan. You can't overextend yourself. You got to know when to use credit, when to pay off the credit. You know, credit's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing and a very dangerous thing. You got to make it work for you. And that the plans that Ellie give you, I don't care, you know, what, you know, the end game's to get a house for that moment, but the plans he's given you are going to give you the end game for everything else too.
Talking about end game, just thinking Marvel, okay?
Yeah.
Remember when the whistle told Tony started like one?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do some sacrifices to get that end game.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. If anybody out there take this, if you're working with me or working with any lender, okay, if they tell you do not do anything new in financing, it's no credit while you're working the process.
That's the golden rule.
Please listen. That's the golden rule. That's that one thing that is like, it's like that movie, like one thing and you in the end game and you make it happen.
More people lost their houses or lost their ability to get those loans because they went and bought a bunch of furniture or bought a new car or bought something when they're in the process of closing for that. Because all of that impacts your credit rating, good, bad, and different. And when they're in that process, any of those details can throw basically the numbers off. And so they're like, oh, well, you just, because, and the way they accumulate credit scores is a little different nowadays than how they did it 20, 30 years ago.
It's a wild animal, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more variables thrown in. And what it creates is a lot more math equations, like the debt to income ratios and things.
Yeah, it's
and
not only that, it's just so much into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest.
Yeah.
Because
but you're messing with that, and that's why it throws your home loan into kilter there.
I'm actually in the middle of a deal right now that, you know, the guys, I even tell them, I think you guys are testing me. Okay? You know, and I have never told that to Barbara ever before in my life. I was like, you guys are testing me, and I try to stay nice and positive. So like, and I was making the joke to Ted. I'm like, hey, I think the God of loans still love these people because they're still approved. Even though they're doing all these things. But guess what now? It kind of came back to bite us in the butt.
Oh, did it?
Because they keep doing stuff. Even though I tell them, don't do this stuff, it's like, like, well, now this is the part that my processor is saying, I'm sending it back to you so you could do your magic. It's like, what magic? I don't have no magic.
This thing's, I'm
not Harry Potter.
Well, again, it's back to what you said earlier. You reap what you sow.
Exactly. But now I have to work it out in a way to see if I can fix it for them.
Sure. But they've got to understand, they've got to listen to you because even if you fix it this time, if they keep doing the same thing, you're not going to be able to fix it after a while. Yeah, and this is the point that he's talking about.
If you take one step forward, does not take 5 back.
Yeah, this is a thing that when we're talking about your lifestyle change to own a home, this is a change forever because your finances are the key in keeping that home and maintaining and growing it. And once you have the home, that's like your ticket to the game. Now you got to keep it, and you got to keep going with it, because now that you got your ticket, everything you're doing is for you.
Correct.
You pay your bills, you're doing everything, you're investing back into you. And next thing you know, you start building up some equity in that home, and next thing you know, that $100,000 home, you've paid 30, 40 grand into it. Now you buy your next home, you could buy a $140,000 house for the same price you're buying your house now with. And that's
and remember, like you said, there's not one house that I sold these 25 years that I sold it for less money than what I bought it.
Yeah.
Not one. Okay. Now I understand that can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a lot of factors that will contribute to that.
Yeah.
But in general, it shouldn't. Okay. I understand if you bought it last year to this year.
Yeah, you got to give it some time.
Well, I don't know. This time frame is a little different.
It is a bit unusual. Yeah, you could see very huge up and down volatile numbers there.
But in general, just 1 year, don't expect too much out of
Sure.
it. But not lately. It's a little different this time. But at the same time, you can always upgrade to the. And I always tell this to people. Maybe you buy your starting home now, okay? And maybe in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on how you handle things, and you follow my plan or what I give you, because everything that I tell any customer is so they can buy a home and they can still keep it.
Yeah.
Not for you to lose it.
Well, and you're kind of like what you were saying earlier with the volatility of the numbers. That's like real estate's like anything else. There's the investment side, but there's the very much like gambling side of wrestling, like like real estate, like your stock markets and stuff. And so in a world environment we get today, that's more of the gambling side. And if you don't know what you're doing or know just enough to be dangerous, that's going to bite you. And because you get these people, it's like, well, I'm flipping houses. That's kind of that's that game.
I know. I feel bad when they like spend too much money fixing one.
you got
to like, well, we want to sell it for this much. They're like, we went there.
Yeah, that's
we went there.
Well, that's the point. Is you got to know what you're doing. You can make a lot of money doing it, but it's a gamble if you don't. And you may buy something because you bought it quick, and you may have paid too much for it. And guess who's going to eat that when you can't turn it around?
Exactly.
That would be you. And if you can't afford that, guess what? You just welcome to gambling, my friend. You just lost, crapped out.
Correct. Yeah, and follow what the real estate agent is telling you and their advice. Obviously, in the end of the day, the buyers has the saying on everything. And
generally, your customers are different. They're like, no, I'm looking for my home. I'm trying to set the foundation for my family to create and that's the type of real estate we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's
and in the end of the day, when I'm dealing with customers, I still have to give them choices.
Yeah,
they need to make their own choice. It's not up to me how far they want to take it. I advise you, hey, maybe you shouldn't take it that far.
Sure.
But in the end of the day, they still have to make their own decisions, and they're grown-up adults.
Absolutely.
So
and you, the individual, are going to reap the repercussions for it. You listen to Elliot here. He's going to put you in a good position to set you up to be there. But if you don't follow those, or once he gets you there, you choose to make decisions that don't line up with the plan he's given you, then you're going to reap the repercussions for that. Good, bad, and different. It's what it is. Now it could be good sometimes. Maybe you picked up some knowledge and like, no, this is a sweet deal. And Elliot's like, okay, and then you do it and it works out, awesome. But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So I just saw the time. We probably need to wrap things up. If you are interested. And now, don't forget, Elliot at CMG Financial. He's not your real estate agent. He's not the guy that's picking the house for you.
I'm the one that gives you the money.
He's the guy that's helping you work, get the finances and get you to do that. But if you're, and probably he's the guy you need to talk to first. If you're talking about buying a home, before you hit the real estate agent with your goals and dreams, come talk to Elliot at CMG Financial. Let him give you where you're sitting at right now and put you in like, okay, if you at the numbers you're giving me and all this, the house price range is about $150,000 that you're looking for, whatever that is, and then he can get you pre-approved and kind of give you a window of exactly what will work in the plan you're trying to set up, and then you can go house shopping. But get the numbers lined up first with Elliot here. Give him a call. You can call him direct. I got to move my glasses because my vision's so bad. You can call him direct on his cell. Probably the quickest way is the cell because he's in and out of the office all day. 719-237-4680. If you want to call the office, though, you're more than welcome. 575 208-2356. And, of course, you can email, you can actually go and learn more about Elliot at his website. It's erodriguez.cmgfi.com. Or you can email Elliot with questions, same address, except for change the first dot with an at. erodriguez at the little a symbol at cmgfi.com. And of course, Elliot's got Facebook and everything. Just look for Elliot Rodriguez. Shoot him a message.
See what we've been doing, and you'll be very impressed with what is there.
Absolutely.
We're there to help you. Okay?
Absolutely. And please, if you're like, our credit's too bad, give him a call. Let's talk about it, because you know what? Okay, maybe today you can't, but 6 months or a year from now, you might be in a position where you're ready to make your first mortgage payment, and that money goes back to you.
Yes, and we said it. Every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. We do that at CMG. We want to help everybody be able to own their own home.
Absolutely. That's the end game. The American dream for everyone.
Of course.
That's the point. Well, thank you, Sarah. As always, I'm gonna do better getting you scheduled. I keep getting missing, and then I forget.
That's all right.
And,
no big deal.
it's just been one of those like last couple of weeks.
Oh,
this
it's been interesting
crazy.
to say the least. I understand that totally.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, 9:55. Quick news update and break before we go. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Our top story today, the Artesia School Board did not vote Monday on whether or not to go against the Public Education Department's mask mandates. The board did, however, unanimously approve a resolution encouraging the state PED to allow more local control over school district policies. The resolution vote took place prior to public comment from over 24 residents who strongly encouraged the board to take a vote to make the mask mandate optional in the Artesia School District. The board in executive session met with an attorney representing the Gallup and McKinley County schools and that district's current lawsuit against the PED over local control. 18 districts and 1 private school have already joined the Gallup district's lawsuit, according to Superintendent John Ross Null. The Artesia School Board did not take any action regarding the lawsuit at Monday's meeting, following a 90-minute executive session. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low pressure should be forming over eastern New Mexico today, and we could get some afternoon showers or thunderstorms. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds. We're looking at mid-90s for the afternoon high. Maybe some showers this evening, partly cloudy overnight and down to 70. For tomorrow, we'll start off fair, partly sunny, our high in the low to mid-90s, and more afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Inflation continues to rage, but the Labor Department says that while consumer prices did rise last month, it was the slowest rate of increase since February. A 0.5% rise June to July. Prices have risen a substantial 5.4% compared with 1 year ago. Wall Street higher at mid-morning as the market analyzes that latest inflation report. In a bid to rein in skyrocketing gas prices, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is urging OPEC to move faster to restore the global oil supply to pre-pandemic. Nissan to close its huge factory in Smyrna, Tennessee for almost 2 weeks starting Monday due to a shortage of crucial computer chips. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
You've slouched on it, you've slept on it, you've sheltered in place on it until it's worn out.
Now it's time for new furniture from Glenn's. Like a breath of fresh air, Glenn's will brighten your home with beautiful new furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. And at Glenn's, everything is ready for immediate delivery. So reopen your life and refresh your home with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Talk about local color. Your trees are supposed to be green, not yellow. Hello, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. While we've been talking about our colorful geraniums, I've been noticing a lot of yellow trees around town, particularly those globe willows. It may come as a shock to you, but those trees are supposed to be green. If you have yellow trees, come see us at Roswell Seed Company. We have a fix that's fast and easy and doesn't cost very much. Remember, it's okay to have yellow flowers, but not yellow trees.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Your